Well, look at this, people. For the very first time on this show, DVD, which always outsells Blu-ray and 4K, has reached parity with 4K. 39.2% of the market for both. What does that mean? Well, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it shortly.
Why do you talk like that?
Yesterday, before it was almost dark, I looked out the window and I could see Ma standing near the blue gum trees.
Please, don't.
Last night, I could hear her nails scraping against the roof.
Stop it.
Sometimes I'd hear her breathing.
It's just the wind. I've told you, flapping against the window.
But it's not. The curtains, they flap and flap. It's because she's angry.
She's dead. They're both dead. Dead and buried. Scattered all over the place, remember? Everything's gonna be okay. Come on.
I am Pharaoh of physical media. I am Pharaoh of physical media.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. That's just a little ditty from one of our viewers. So you saw him last week. You didn't see the one of me, but hey, welcome to Let's Get Physical Media, episode number 218. We're back from the dead and ready to party, as they say. Halloween's over. The Dodgers are now consecutive World Series winners. Check it out. And by the way, White Devils, you can go get it for a limited time. It's up right now at whitedevilsthemovie.com. Check it out. It's all over social media. Help us, drum up some interest. Looks like we might have a theatrical window for White Devils. More about that later, but you can see it for a limited time. We'll talk about that. Can't get it on physical media yet. I know you're tired of hearing about all the things that we make and peddle here on the show, but you know what you're not tired of hearing about? You know who you're never tired of hearing about or hearing from? The man with the plan, the guy that we love, the man that I forgot to put into the show before I started. So I can't just cut right to him where you get him. So I have to continue to talk while I put him in the show because I forgot to do that before I started. And that's not very good. So I'm just going to continue to talk as I attempt to do what I have to do, which is put him in the show. So how long as I'm trying to do this is it going to take me before I can give you all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. DIETER Bastian?
Rob, thanks again for always the nice intro. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. DIETER here. I'm Rocky like Hurricane. And welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media, where my first point is to apologize to all our viewers who are always chiming in here and they're screaming from the heavens last week, Dietz, focus! Dietz, focus! Because what happens? Because I don't make mistakes, normally. I have in my camera settings 2 sliders, and one is for manual stuff like brightness, contrast, colors, which I normally like to do manually. And the slider above is the autofocus. So which one do you think did I put off? The autofocus. So hopefully I'm in focus tonight again, so you can count my last few strands of hair. So Rob, here we are. Hopefully, we are talking always 4K, so I'm hopefully in HD. Hopefully.
Well, I don't know. I think I just hit the wrong button. but you're in HD. Let's see. Let's just make sure that you are in HD. You're in HD.
Yeah. Just to check here, the autofocus is finally working. I'll go back. Okay, it works. It works. Finally. So I will show a little bit of the stuff later that I showed last week, just in a quick succession, to show you the steelbooks from last week. So I apologize. You are screaming.
It's okay. We'll allow it.
Yeah. The technical issues, Rob, that we have here, and let's get physical media. The wrong slider. I put autofocus off instead of the manual settings. And Rob, I actually had a Sophie's Choice to do today.
What?
Do I do let's get physical media, or do I watch something else on YouTube later? Because last week, we're starting with this. I showed the new record from Battle Beast, which is out. Steelbound. And now, hopefully, in focus, I can show you the nice disco ball here. And they're doing something for me, Rob, which is unique. I don't know if any other band has ever done that. They are streaming their live concerts, Rob, every night. Every night they're streaming their concerts on YouTube, Of course, it's not a perfect quality. We all know internet streams, sometimes they drop, you get the buffering. But just the idea, you have the feeling you're being on the road with them every night, another city, So tonight they are playing in Antwerp. But of course, Let's Get Physical Media has priority, because now I have seen the show 4 or 5 times. So the songs from the new album, I have heard more live than I've heard from the CD, actually. And the idea to get the people watching their shows every day live, their concert on YouTube, for me, that's unique, Rob. That's unique. And it's always nice when the bass player has some time, the guitar player does his stage and is in the live chat for a moment. So that's I think it's a great idea. So Battle Beast on tour over Europe. If you want to go to that channel, you can watch the starting of the tour in Hamburg. Almost every city they did a live stream. Always the whole concert for it. For me, great idea, Rob. Great idea.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you're having such a fun time. It's good to have fun. It's good to be that way.
Yeah. For me, that's a totally unique idea, Rob. I don't know any other band who has ever done that. Streaming their live concerts over YouTube, Twitch. I don't know, Rob, if a band has ever done that. No. For me, that's just an awesome idea.
Yeah.
To be every day. You are with the people in the live chat like here, talking about, how good the set list is. But the set list is almost the same every night, But even if I heard now the set list multiple times, I can quite get enough of it, And they're playing in Antwerp tonight.
I'm glad. I need to take just a moment, a deep breath, a moment of zen, because I am not doing a good job producing this show today. Let's all of us. Why don't we all just take a breath? It's been October was a rough month for me. We're into a new month. We're into November. We're in the last stretch. We're beginning the holiday season. So why don't we all take an break? All right, fuck that. We're done. And let's move on. And okay, I'm ready. I'm ready now. I was just off my game, I even said the show last night.
Yeah. A year up, the box office was very lackluster this week, but nevertheless, I wanted to hear about it.
This week was the lowest box office since 1998.
Holy moly.
Holy moly is right. I think a lot of that, you had the World Series on, and
yeah, okay.
By the way, not just because I live here and the Dodgers are awesome, but what a series. I mean, I don't think that there was anything more exciting entertainment-wise than the World Series this week. Although I went and saw Begonia, which I can talk about. Truly, really, really, really amazing.
Have you seen the original, Rob, the Save the Planet, the Korean one?
Yeah,
because I remember owning the DVD of Save the Planet, but it's almost
I know I own it too.
So I don't remember the movie.
Yeah. So I did enjoy it. So here's where we're at.
Yeah.
So Anthony D'Alessandro, this comes to us from Anthony D'Alessandro. A death match between a movie about a mother and daughter in mourning and that of a devil-faced kidnapper will come down to Sunday. Paramount is betting that young women bounce back today like they did post-World Series baseball last weekend. But here we go. Let's tell you what we have got. So, Regretting You, which is a movie that, you know, we're at 27.5 million for week 2. Black Phone 2, this is domestic, 61.4 million. Black Phone is a hit. Chainsaw Man in 3,000 theaters. Chainsaw Man, 30.70 million this week. K-pop Demon Hunters, re-released for Halloween, made 5.3 million in the theaters for 24.3 million. Begonia made 5.8 million. The re-release of Back to the Future made 4.7 million at number 6. Springsteen, the Springsteen biopics made 3.8 million for a total of 16.2 million. Tron Ares, I got to tell you, this is really surprising to me. Tron Ares only made 2.8 million, and it's only made 67.9 million domestic. I mean, what a terrible, I hate to say it, but what a terrible result for a movie that I thought was entertaining. You know, it's no great shakes, but it was
totally.
I mean, with 9 Inch Nails, Stitchhead, whatever that is, made 2.5 million. Good Fortune, the Keanu Reeves, Kumail Nanjiani, not Kumail, but Aziz Ansari directed film, 14.6 million. And One Battle After Another made 1.15 million for 67.7 million.
Yeah.
So not a great week at the box office, but you know, we're going into the holiday season when there's going to be a lot of bangers. And look, I have to tell you, I did a story about this. You got to have a movie that has bite to get people out of the theater.
Correct.
And
and let's see if Predator Badlands has it this week coming.
I'm going to the hopefully I have to drive the folks to the airport. Which is to me a huge round trip. That's a 180-mile round trip. If I can make that round trip soon enough, I do have a ticket to see Predator Badlands at 6:30 Wednesday.
Ooh, nice.
So to go into the fan screening, and I'm very excited. I mean, the word on the street is that Predator Badlands is great.
In your Harkins theater, Rob?
Yeah, in the Harkins Theater, in the CineX.
Nice. Awesome.
I was the first person to buy a ticket.
Ooh. There were no tickets sold?
No tickets sold. I think that people didn't know that there was a fan screening.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the Harkins Mountain Grove 16, tickets are available. 6:30 show in their big auditorium. So
awesome.
So see what's happening with the Yucha tribe, your favorite aliens. I can't wait.
So, me too, Rob. Me too. Even if it's PG-13, but let's not hold that against the movie. Let's see what they've done. Just quickly, Rob, I finished 3 TV shows because the last episode came out this week, or they were bingeable. I binged quite a nice binge. I waited till all episodes were there, and there were only 6. I finished Slow Horses with Gary Oldman,
like this new season
5. And once again, banger of a season, even with only 6 episodes. And they're already greenlit. They're already producing the 6th season. And even the 7th has become greenlit. So for me, Slow Horses, 5 seasons, quality-wise, always at the top. Gary Oldman is so great in this. But the whole cast I love, you know. It's so refreshing considering Slow Horses, how he talks to his worker bees, you know. Luckily, there's no HR rep in his facility. Then, of course, another show that already got greenlit, I think, for at least 1 season more, which will then take place in London. I finished Only Murders in the Building, which for me, quite nice. A little step down because it was a little bit crazy in some parts, what they implemented into the 5th season, but still a nice watch. And now they are going to London for their next case. And then second season came out from Nobody Wants This, and I totally enjoyed the first one, and the show totally thrives on the chemistry between the characters. Had a good time with the second season too, but it is a show where money is not a problem, It's just great relationship stuff, totally great laughs, heartfelt moments, but money is not really an issue, even if the career makes some drops here and there, doesn't really matter. So, but for me, Nobody Wants This totally lives on the chemistry of the characters. Those were the 3 shows, Rob, that I've seen. I have not seen a movie digital this week. So, Rob, I think just quickly, I will show the stuff that last week was a little bit out of whack, out of focus.
Hey, man.
Oh, I forgot. I watched The Bad Guys 2, and I wasn't actually not a big fan of the first one. It was fine for me. But the second one, I had a really good time. I had a blast with the second one. It's totally bonkers. It's the Fast and Furious, but in the later stages of the Fast and Furious franchise. It totally, for me, it rocked better than the first one, The Bad Guys 2. Then I showed the Weapon Steelbook. Hopefully now a little bit more in focus. Then we had the Severance 4K, which unfortunately I have not seen yet. The transfer holds up. Then we had the Arrow one with Mrs. 45, the Ferrara one. Then, for me, Rob, I don't know if I've shown it this week or 14 days back, but I watched it this week. Totally great transfer, like Sony always does. Without giving anything away, Rob. Could end up in my top 10 because of the transfer. We get the version that Tom Savini wanted. I think it has a chance, Rob, to show up in the top 10 of this year. Night of the Living Dead.
Well, I got to get that still. It's hard to find. It's hard to get. Might have to drop some extra green to get that, buddy.
The transfer, Rob, as Sony always comes through, even has a new Dolby Atmos track. I think a new audio commentary.
Did you watch the new cut of the movie?
Yeah, which is, it starts in black and white for a short amount of time and then switches into color immediately. There's a nice transition when the movie does it. So for me, Rob, there's a chance for me, considering, when we do our top 10s, you always need to love the movie. And I was really thrilled when it got announced. And now that I've seen it, Rob, there's a chance. The Steelbook is great. Perhaps it will make it. Of course, I showed, this one. We'll get to that a little bit later, perhaps again. Then you have one Steelbook that I finally got without any dents. Then it was from Lionsgate, The Devil's Rejects, which unfortunately does not contain on Blu-ray the unrated cut, which I don't know, but they didn't at least as a Blu-ray put it in. Then we have the nice shiny Eon Flux Steelbook for it. Then beside Miss 45, I showed, of course, In the Mouth of Madness, one of Rob's favorite, John Carpenter.
Yeah, I should probably say that I did get mine. I've been waiting on an Arrow order. Apparently, I ordered In the Mouth of Madness itself twice.
Okay.
So it's coming in an order with other discs, and I got an individual order, but only the individual order showed up. Boy, does this transfer look great, though.
Nice. I haven't dived into.
Have you ever seen it?
In the Mouth. No, not yet, Rob. I have not seen In the Mouth of Madness.
Have you ever seen the movie at all?
Yeah, of course, Rob.
I love.
This is the. How many times did we bought it, Rob?
Yeah.
Over the years.
I loved In the Mouth of Madness. It's of course the third movie.
Don't you have that book from Swag Props, Rob?
Yeah, I got the book. I got the Sutter Kane book from Swag Props.
Sutter Kane, yeah.
And one of the great things about In the Mouth of Madness is it's the third movie in Carpenter's unofficial Apocalypse trilogy. that began with The Thing, continued on with Prince of Darkness, and ends with In the Mouth of Madness.
Just quick.
That's cool.
Ballerina edition from France. It's the steelbook, and which contains Wick is Pain as a separate digipack.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. This was a little bit of the haul from last week. Hopefully, a little bit more in focus than last week.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't say it's a lackluster week. It's never a lackluster week when you get discs. But I didn't get a lot of discs because I'm in a transitional period, Dieter, where things I've ordered haven't come in yet, waiting for things to come in.
Yeah.
But Kino Lorber, of course. I'm not going to talk much about this because Max Allan Collins is going to come on and talk about this later.
Okay.
Radioland Murders, the Brian Benben starring movie that George Lucas produced, came out from Kino Lorber. Mary Stuart Masterson and Master Brian Benben came out. So this is all I got from Kino in a lonely envelope, but Max is going to talk at length about this a little later, so I'm going to refrain from mentioning anything. Of course, I did get boxes. I mean, I feel like Warner Archive is releasing stuff every week. I mean, they seem to send me things, which, by the way, I'm not complaining. George
is saying, Rob, I don't have much more time. Who knows when we will get bored? Let's get this shit out.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, now that Netflix is exploring buying Warner Brothers, that is my greatest fear, that Netflix buys Warner Brothers and no more physical media.
Yeah.
Which
Rob,
is a distinct
have you reached out to Warner Bros? Have you talked to them of our, of my 110 euros from last week? Was it enough? Or did it get rejected?
I did not reach out to George this week. I haven't bothered him in a while. I owe him a call. Yeah. I love talking to George Feltenstein. You know what? I'll tell you something. If you're having a bad day, and I was having a bad month, to be honest. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say it was bad things. The worst kind of thing
roller coaster month.
Yeah, the worst kind of thing that can happen to you happened to me, and the best thing. You have a movie coming out that you had a screening for, and it's weird. Life is a continuum. The highs and lows for my October were definitely rough. But if you have a bad day, hearing George Feltenstein's voice on the phone is one of them. It never ceases to put a smile on my face. Talking to George Feltenstein. As a matter of fact, I would have George Feltenstein. He could have a second career doing answering machine or just phone messages for people. But he's got better things to do, such as put out discs like this: Clark Gable, William Powell, and Myrna Loy in Manhattan Melodrama, a David O. Selznick production, a Cosmopolitan production. Can't wait to see this. Because the thing is, his choices for these, even though there's movies I've never seen before, never even heard of, they're all bangers. Even High Society, which was their second. High Society is not a great movie, but that 4K disc is great, and watching it was great. Really enjoy having
always
that in 4K.
nice plus.
Yeah. Then we've got Ida Lupino and John Garfield in Out of the Fog, which is great. Then Master of Ballantrae, another film with Errol Flynn, What's Not to Love. And, of course, Barbara Stanwyck and Henry Fonda in The Mad Miss Manton. Look, any movie about crazy women, what's not to love? Barbara Stanwyck and Henry Fonda welcome you to Manhattan. So there's a little bit of there's Manhattan melodrama. See, because George, he told me whatever's ready they put out. But here's a movie about Manhattan, and here's a movie about Manhattan. So don't tell me, George, that you're not always looking for those connections.
Man with the plan.
And then, of course, the collector's edition came with an O-ring. This isn't Warner Archive. This is just Warner Brothers. Well, I guess it is. Wait a minute. It probably is Warner Archive because they put out all this animation.
Yeah.
But it's not branded as Warner Archive.
Okay.
But we've got Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Maybe one day the girls, Zoe and Sophie, will have grandkids, and I'll be able to show them all this great animation because I have a lot of it. So I got that stuff. from there. There you go. There's my little haul from Kino Lorber and Warner Archive.
Nice.
Which, by the way, you can't really. I'm like you. You can't really see off camera, but the stacks of these discs, they're
Don't talk about it.
growing. I mean, one day I'm gonna be locked in. I will have locked myself into a. I mean, I can smash it like King Kong, but it's rough, dude. Rough. I mean,
I was hoping, Rob,
these
you
are
have a
definitely
separate garage for the both of us, that I
good
could
problems
send
to have.
you all the stuff.
Lot going on. Actually, I could just show you the other two things I bought.
Okay.
Other than Mouth of Madness. And I got these as Schnäppchens. I had to go to
Nice.
Walmart. I had to go to Walmart. And I went to Walmart because I had to get some supplies. Totally just house supplies. Totally unrelated. I always take a little flyby of their physical media section that's usually destroyed. But for whatever reason, these were the last two of these, and I found them behind something. Somebody had hidden them, and they were Schnäppchens. And I had yet to buy them.
Not put them into the basket.
So I had yet to buy them. The first was Superman. Not a steelbook, but a lenticular cover.
Yeah, awesome.
So I hadn't bought this because I hadn't decided which steelbook I wanted to chase after. But you know what?
But this one is nice too.
Problem solved. So I got that. And the other
How
one.
was it? How much was it, Rob? When you say subscription, how much was it?
$22.
Okay. Nice. Nicely done.
I know, right? Same thing here. I think they were mispriced, to be honest. So that's why. And then the other one I got was F1. I was going to chase after the steelbooks. Did I need the steelbooks? No. Do you ever really need steelbooks? No. But I couldn't pass it up. Even I'm always on the hunt for a Schnäppchen. As long as you got a cool O-ring, I don't need a steelbook. Who's going to know I even have a steelbook except me and the people that come in here after I'm dead? They'll be like, why did he choose steelbooks over regular versions? And no one will know. But so, hey. And then, of course.
But sometimes, Rob, even the steelbook is the only one you can get,
Yeah.
Because the standard MRA is coming out later. Nice. In the
of course. Then this came in too. I didn't realize it's a chonky box. John Carpenter. Always, we got the big Dark Star version coming soon.
Yeah.
Very excited. Very excited.
Nice.
So that's all I got this week.
Yes.
Not a big week for the Mobster.
Then, Rob, I think we had some super chats came in, and then I will go with my haul of the week.
Your haul of the week. Yes, we did get some super chats, and let's see what they are. Major Chai Chai celebrates 21 months of membership. Can't believe I've been a member for almost 2 years. Here's to many more. I got to see Major Chai Chai. She came to the screening of White Devils. That went very well. I not a lot of people responded to me. It's always depressing when you realize that your YouTube channel might have 70,000 subscribers, but maybe only 10 people will respond when you do real world events. Of course, there was the World Series game and all that, but it still was a great screening. Really enjoyed it. And she flew out for that, which means a great deal to me. And that was a lot of fun.
But now it's available on digital.
Yes, now you can get it for a limited time. Richard Curtis 7905 says, I watched In Fabric on Friday. To be honest, I'm not sure if I liked it. How does it compare to the rest of Peter Strickland's films? Peter Strickland directed Barbarian Sound Studio. And I showed, maybe I didn't, I don't know if I ever showed this. I think I forgot. I got the Curzon box set.
Okay.
Did I show that?
I'm not sure anymore, Rob, if you have
I don't think I did. It was one of those things that I bought and I put up, and I think I forgot to show it. But I have the Curzon box set of Peter Strickland's work. All I've ever seen is Barbarian Sound Studios and In Fabric. And In Fabric, if memory serves, was an A24 film about this haunted dress. You see this? And like Mr. Curtis here, I didn't love In Fabric. I mean, it has obviously a very high concept idea.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it. It's not as good as Barbarian Sound Studio. So
it's the only one that I know, Rob.
Those are the only two things that I've seen of Peter Strickland's work. That's why I bought the Curzon box set. So to be honest, I can only say that In Fabric is not as good as Barbarian Sound Studio, but it's a very different movie.
Yeah. Movie, yeah.
I thought
So you were lucky you asking about that one.
I thought In Fabric, the idea of it was better than the execution. So I hope that helps. Walter Whitewalker says, doesn't have Tron on it, but you can pre-order the Intellivision Sprint stocked with 45 games and their controller inserts for the 45th anniversary. Okay, I was not an Atari 2600 guy. I never owned Atari 2600 growing up. I played it at my friend's house, but I was never that impressed with it. I had game systems like the Vectrex system, and I had Microvision, which is a liquid LCD display. I had those things, but my first console game was Intellivision. I was which was the first 8-bit system, and I was an Intellivision fiend. And so I didn't even know that this Intellivision Sprint was coming out. But I had favorite games. Like, there were favorite games I had, like B-17 Bomber, where we bombed Germany. That was a great game.
Nicely done, Rob.
and then I enjoyed my favorite
Hopefully
games.
not Saarbrücken, Rob.
Well, there you go. I liked a lot of the sports games on Intellivision, like football and baseball. I loved a game called Utopia, which was great, but Sea Battle, we had like teams. My neighborhood would come to my house, and we had like sports, like leagues. I mean, we were fierce Intellivision competitors in baseball and football. But Sea Battle was our jam. Sea Battle was the game that we almost came to fisticuffs over. You know, me and like Mark Elfendahl. Sea Battle was the best. I loved Sea Battle. And then there was kind of an Asteroids ripoff called Astro Smash, which probably isn't on there. But
when I think back on those days with those consoles, can you imagine, Rob, the game had to be completed, on the cartridge. There was no chance to update it later.
Oh, no.
As we are now used to day one update, you have to do the day one update.
You look at those games.
Better,
I don't even know if kids today can even hang with those games because they move slow. Even the running in football was like this. Sideways. You saw the people running like, I loved it, man. I loved Intellivision. So, but the controllers were shit. You had these like the circular controllers and the push button things. They were the worst controllers ever. But each game had different like plastic inserts that you'd put in that were kind of the size of a credit card. You'd slide. It was so. I don't know who designed all that shit, but
the Atari one just one button, Rob. Just one button and a stick.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that was Intellivision was much more complex. But so Walter Whitewalker, I got to look up the Intellivision Sprint and see. I'm going to do that as you're talking. 200 Watt Studio says, "Wow, Dietz First Hall had maybe 2 good films." Laugh out loud.
You know me too well. 200 Watt Studios.
So Velian1 says, "Hi, Robin Dieters, celebrating Sonia's birthday today." That's Paul Bernotto.
Paul, correct.
Paul Bernotto.
Paul Sonia, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sonia. We'll watch later one of her favorite comedies, Trading Places, on 4K. So hilarious. I like Trading Places in 4K. Paul, we'll tell her happy birthday from all of us here at the Burnettwork. So we're caught up on those things.
Okay. So I could show my whole Rob, what I got.
Show your all. And I'm going to look up this Intellivision thing right now.
So the first one let me just see, from Shout Select. I've got the 4K from The Place Beyond the Pines. Haven't seen it in a long time, so time to refresh my memory of that movie. Cat in the Bag. Looks nice. A little bit Terrifier-like. It's called Jeremy Rutt's Diced Reloaded, and I heard this is a little bit of a different version of the movie that were already released, but this is definitive version. Don't know. Diced Reloaded.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, I'm sorry. I have to stop.
No problem. Yeah.
I am buying this. This Intellivision Sprint.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So it's got Armor Battle, Astro Smash, Auto Racing, B-17 Bomber, Baseball, Bowling, Golf, Night Stalker, Sea Battle, Soccer,
favorite?
Space Battle. Space Battle wasn't great, but I played it anyway. It's got Sea Battle. That's it. But in B-17,
That's all you want.
It has B-17 Bomber. I don't know if it's got the voice activation, but it's got, most importantly, Utopia. They knew. The people that made this, they knew. Kudos. So first of all, I want to thank.
Put it.
I mean, this is just
Put it in the basket.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know who's ever going to be there to play it with me. But it looks like the olden television.
Okay.
So,
nostalgia through and through.
Wow, it retains the authentic look and feel of the original,
Yeah.
modernized with HDMI and wireless controllers. I guess they have 2 new games.
HDMI is a nice upgrade.
Oh
Definitely.
my God! Anyway, I know I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm having a moment.
No.
I'm having a moment.
Yeah.
So back to you, Dietz. I'm gonna have my moment by myself now.
After the roller coaster October. So we are continuing with Shout Select with the Oliver Stone stuff that they are putting out. Really looking forward to watching this movie again. I got the 4K for Savages. Nothing.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I got to get that. I love that movie. That's based on Don Winslow's novel, which I love. And it had another book called The Kings of Cool.
I actually detected there are 3 discs. The 4K is the unrated version. Then we have on Blu-ray.
That movie's
the
brutal.
unrated and the theatrical version, and we have a separate disc for special features. So I didn't even have not checked it. There are actually 3 discs in this set of Savages. Then Crazy Klaus is in the house. I got Nosferatu.
Nice.
From Werner Herzog, talking about toxic relationship, but they made a lot of movies together. So, oopsie daisy. So we got the 4K and the Blu-ray. Let me just see. There's something special. New 4K transfer, and the Blu-ray has that transfer too. Isabelle Adjani and Bruno Ganz, who most of us know from Der Untergang. Then, of course, I had to get it from Valgo USA, but unfortunately they're going the way to just a 4K or just a Blu-ray, not both together. I got a 4K for Samurai Fury. So, fancy.
Nice.
Let me just check. Not that there are 2 discs in it. No, only the 4K for it. So, Samurai Fury. Then I was really lucky. The steelbooks that I got this week, they are mostly intact. I will not send anyone back. This one survived the trip from the States. I got the Shin Godzilla steelbook.
Nice.
Because, Rob, you showed in news there are the American version, and then there's a even bigger Japanese, I think the Japanese one. So we have 3 discs. We have a separate one just for the bonus features, the 4K and the Blu-ray. And here a little bit of just an ad for the Godzilla Con. And the slip I had to fold to put it in here. So, I love my purpley stuff. Shin Godzilla.
That movie's really great too. I love it.
In the afternoon, before I got my setup here ready, it's always nice, to go back to the high school. And my favorite high school visits are the terrifying girls, high school, Pinky Violence here.
Those are so good.
They're so good. Exactly, Rob. This is actually, I think this was the first one that came out, but it was the last one released on Blu-ray, but I could be wrong. I don't know the exact order of it. And it's always nice. You get a different cover variation underneath it. Oh, demonetized. Demonetized. And it's only 80 minutes. Only 80 minutes. So exactly my kind of joy in the Sunday afternoon. But it's not really a coffee and cake movie. So terrifying girls' high school, women's violent classroom. What do I want more? Then I don't know if Rob has already shown it, but I got the Rocky Horror Steelbook this week. It really looks really nice. It comes.
Did you have any problem getting that?
Actually, no, Rob. I ordered it from Italy again, Rob. And Italy is
Nice.
I don't know. Perhaps there are not too many buyers in Italy. There's always have no problems to get those steelbooks. They are very hard to get in Amazon Italy.
Have you ever? I got a question for you. I have to ask you a question about Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
So, I bought. It came out as like a media book on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I bought it. I've never watched that movie by myself. I've only ever seen it.
why.
I own it. I've only ever seen it in the theater. I've probably seen it, I don't know, 15 times over the years, just going to see midnight shows of it from the time
So
I was.
you know the movie, Rob. You know the movie.
I just can't imagine watching it by myself.
Well, I will actually do that, Rob. Actually do that.
I mean,
To refresh my memory.
I guess you could, but I've never watched it. I mean, I own it. I bought the Blu-ray when it came out, 10 years ago or whenever it came out. I've never watched the Blu-ray. I've never had any inclination. I just can't imagine watching that movie alone.
But you need to have it, Rob. It doesn't matter if you haven't watched
Well,
it.
that's true, and now I need to get it in 4K.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm a sweet transvestite, transsexual, Transylvanian.
But you know,
and I'm all about science fiction.
The chunky collectors always have stuff that they have never watched but bought, you know. And this one, Rob.
But that's literally a movie I can't imagine watching. Like, there's not one other title that I own that I wouldn't watch. But that movie, I have no inclination in. There's no. I mean, maybe to study it, because maybe I've only ever seen it with audience participation and the shadow casts and all that. Maybe when I watch the Sal Piro documentary, I'll go back and revisit it.
No.
And I'll have to drop $40 or whatever on the steal. It'll only be the second time I bought Rocky Horror, though. So
the next one, Rob, is still, after 17 years, still a banger. You already showed it. Mine finally came. If I were a director, which of course I'm not, and I only would have been able to do that movie, I would be fine, because I would have made my stamp on the movie market. I got finally my Martyrs, Rob. Finally. It's still a banger, Rob. After 17 years, I watched it again.
It looks great, doesn't it?
Nice. Yeah, totally nice transfer. Still a banger, Rob. Still a banger, even after 17 years.
I love, that's a movie. That movie is like having a.
And I love, actually, Rob, that they don't give anything away with the cover artwork.
No.
For the people who haven't seen it and want to go in blind, do it if you can. Go in blind. So the 4K.
I think that's I think it's a movie that they talk about how part of one of the biggest audiences for horror films are like teenage girls. Yeah. I think all teenage girls should see Martyrs.
Certainly. And of course, it came with that nice.
I noticed you're not going to follow up with that comment there, DIETER. Nope.
Yeah, probably not. Oh, I don't want. Let me just see. I don't want to spoil actually anything. So probably only show what isn't spoilery. Here are some quotes, Rob. Some quotes here on inside. Max Saw look like Sesame Street. Definitely not one for the squeamish. one of the best horror films of the last decade, or even more now. Legendary, awesome, extraordinary. Can totally agree. Yeah, this one I can't show, and I always loved when we get the two girls on it.
I always like when I get two girls
Yeah,
on it too.
I probably will not show anything for people who haven't seen it. Okay, there is the Torment. I don't know if Paul, she has anything to do perhaps with the series. No. Marius. Finally, Rob. Finally, I got it. It showed up in really good condition. Awesome. So, but I will not buy it again.
No.
I bought it enough.
You don't have to.
No. Yeah. The next one, it's strange with Amazon these days. You put up a pre-order, the title is getting released, but nothing moves ahead. You don't just get it. Even if it says it's in stock. So what did I do, Rob? I ordered it anew. And then it immediately went into shipping. And the other one I canceled. I don't know why. Because it's out, I believe now for months, but I finally got it. David Ferrara movie. That Lieutenant from 101, the 4K disc.
Yeah.
It was in stock, Rob, but didn't go into shipping.
I don't know what's happened. Something has happened to Amazon. Like Amazon has become completely unreliable. Amazon used to be 100% reliable. Now it's completely unreliable. And I don't know why. That's a cool set. That's a cool box set. Hang on. Let me go full frame on
you
that
have
one.
the 4K Blu-ray and extras here.
Does it have a reversible cover?
Yes, Rob. So you have this is the reversible cover.
Oh,
and this is the outer,
sure,
outer box. So you can switch it to the same as this one, but of course, if you can switch it, we use the other one, and inside we have the booklet for it. Like
that's
I said, Rob,
that's another family film that you watch it. It's
show me, Rob. Show me. So I had pre-ordered it, but it didn't move anything. So I said, okay, I order it new, and then it went into shipping, Rob. And the other one I canceled. Then from Criterion, Rob, I've got two titles. I don't know if they came out, I think last week. We have one, History of Violence. Those are the UK versions, which I think come in a little cheaper for me because I don't have to pay the custom taxes for those. So we have always again nice booklets that Criterion does here. Nice fold-out booklets.
I'm waiting for the last Criterion sale of the season to get my last batch of things I haven't bought.
So, History of Violence. So we've got the 4K and the Blu-ray. And the second one is, of course, haven't seen it in a long time either, Altered States.
So good. Dude, that movie is so good.
Haven't seen it in a long time. And I don't even own a Blu-ray of it, but could be wrong.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray. Warner Brothers put it out as if no one is. I mean, to me, this was one of the really significant science fiction films that was released at the dawn of the 80s. And no one talks about it.
Yeah. But we're getting it from Criterion.
It's part of Warner Brothers giving away all these great movies to Criterion, to Shout, and to Arrow.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that in the news section.
The next one, I talked about watching it digitally, and since I liked it, I said, okay, I of course will purchase it on Blu-ray, and it comes with actually an audio commentary, at least, from the director. And I think this was his first time feature and a little bit of a making of, which probably is an EPK kit I bought. With,
nice.
Sydney Sweeney, god damn it. Americana. Not quite Tarantino height, but really nice first outing. Then, for me, Rob, I was not sure should I get it because I heard, the unrated versions are not in 4K. But it seems that the Blu-rays, at least, in those sets are the unrated version. So you can at least choose. But I watched the second one yesterday. Strangely enough, those are exclusive to Amazon, not Lionsgate. I got the different Saw steelbooks, Rob.
Oh, that's cool.
Got the second one. Once again, Rob, Lionsgate does always those nice, awesome slips.
Yeah.
We have Tobin Bell here. We have the, those
I
nice
think the first
needles.
3 Saw movies are a great trilogy.
Totally, Rob. You can totally end it there. But I always appreciate, Rob, the Saw franchise, always going back to the lore and always try to incorporate the lore once again,
I know.
Not shifting away, always trying to let it go. And it's really a nice transfer and Dolby Atmos mix. It comes with a Dolby Atmos mix. And the Blu-ray is not the old one. And it contains the unrated version, but it's not the old one because the new special features are on the Blu-ray too. So the Blu-ray is a newer one and contains the unrated version. So at least you can get both, but the black levels are really way better on the 4K version. So we have part 2 of the Saw franchise, which has, when I watched it again, still has nice little twists and turns, which I quite remembered. Then we got number 3, Pig Mask. We have Shawnee Smith here, which continued, of course, the work of Jigsaw. And I think I haven't checked this one, but I believe the unrated version is on the Blu-ray here too, but I need to check it. So 4K and the Blu-ray. So in the back, I don't know if I can make this visible. We have that nice little fella here in the window. So the third one. And the third one they released was, of course, number 4, which I believe is also from Darren Lynn Boseman, who did the most Saw films. Did the third one too? I think so.
Yeah.
Not sure anymore.
He did.
Yeah, he did the third one too. So he did number 2, number 3, number 4, and I believe even more. So here we have the fourth one. So again, put it up here. And this goes all around here. From the fourth one, I'm not sure at the moment if there is even an unrated cut. I have to check. So the 4K and the Blu-ray. And I don't know, the second one has new special features. I don't know about the other titles because I haven't got time to check them. But I watched the second one at least again. And I guess the other ones come with new Dolby Atmos tracks too. So one title left, a little bit of a bigger box set. Distributor that we quite have not shown for some time now. But Jackie is back from 88, of course. Heart of the Dragon, like they always do. Big box set, Samo and him. And it comes, of course, let me just check here. We've got the Emery with the 4K and the Blu-ray and some cards here. Then we have the poster artwork with the 2 variations. So I could actually switch the covers. Was it the same? Yeah, need to check. Should probably can switch the cover artwork on the Emery. Just look at it. Yes, obviously we can switch that to the Hong Kong theatrical poster, I would assume. So we got now this one, Emery And once again, it comes with booklet for it. So this was my haul from 88 films. New Jackie one in 4K. Hard Dragon from his golden years.
And a fine haul it is, Dietz. A fine haul indeed.
Nice.
Well, I mean, this show is moving right along, I would say. And you know what that means?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. It's time to not let the celebrity were waiting. The only thing, Rob, I totally forgot. Since that nice celebrity that will come on had some nice words last week about, of course, Bang Boom Bang. I will give the steelbook away a little bit later, and the steelbook is actually sold out at Turbine. You can't get the steelbook anymore. You can get the normal version, but the steelbook is sold out at Turbine.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, before I introduce our esteemed guest, because if we don't plug our own stuff, who can we expect to do it for us? So, our esteemed guest that we're about to bring on has a very significant. I mean, it's not the only book he has coming out. He's got a Quarry book coming out, but in January of 2026, when this goes up for pre-order, you have to do this. I mean, I don't know what human being would ever try and write a sequel to the Maltese Falcon.
One who has his eyes.
Not only is there one man who would. He was clocking when the original novel went into the public domain for 2 decades. For the
counting the hours, counting the days, counting the seconds.
Then this motherfucker went in and he made a deal to publish a sequel.
With Titan.
But he was sly. This is why we have him, and that's why he runs the most rambunctious part of our motel. But let's talk about it. Pre-order this. The Return of the Maltese Falcon is coming out in January of 2026. This is what foresight and love brings you. Max Allan Collins, the man who wrote the graphic novel Road to Perdition the film was based on, he wrote the Dick Tracy comic strip. It was his favorite comic strip. His mother wrote Chester Gould, the original creator. And Chester Gould wrote Max Allan Collins back when he was a wee lad of like about 8. I mean, this man knows what's up. He also did this audio drama you might have heard something about, True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak. Yeah. But The Return of the Maltese Falcon, probably the greatest publishing event of 2026, is coming at you from Hard Case Crime in January of 2026, as soon as the original slips into the public domain. The Return of the Maltese Falcon. So go to Amazon now. By the way, Max got to eat and Max got to buy physical media. Yeah. So the more pre-orders this book gets, the more discs Max can buy, and the more he can keep his beautiful pinup wife happy. Yeah. So go now and pre-order. I don't know if it's up for pre-order. I have no idea. He'll probably tell you. But that said, the writer of the upcoming Return of the Maltese Falcon and husband to a beautiful wife. How did he get here? We don't know. He's going to tell us. Mr. Max Allan Collins.
Good evening.
Hello. We are able to pre-order that particular book right now.
Really?
It is up for pre-order.
Don't give it away for free, Max.
Yeah, if you could,
people I'm giving it to.
By the way, your volume's a little low today.
Is it low? All right, let me move it a little closer.
Yeah, because you had the volume perfectly. Somehow you fucked it up.
Is that better?
No, it's low. It's still low.
Still low. Okay.
I don't know. It might sound like you're getting your. You have a mic and you have your computer. It sounds like we're getting you on your computer instead of your mic.
Okay. Well, I'll move a little closer just in case.
Yeah,
is that better?
It's still a little low, but we'll deal.
Okay. You can't turn me up on that end, I guess, huh?
No, you sound good. You sound okay.
Okay. Yes,
you demand too much. You demand too much. Touch Max on the production side.
Yes, yeah. Yes, you can pre-order the Return of the Maltese Falcon, but you and Dieter are going to get free copies.
Don't tell people that. We
Don't
have to
forget to
pretend
sign,
that we
Max.
bought it.
Don't forget to sign it.
I'm also offering a free copy to George Feltenstein if I would not have to keep buying the archive Blu-rays that I do that are driving me out of business.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to do one today, but
Yeah,
I got a couple things I want to mention before we get going here. First of all, my grandchildren, Nathan and Lucy, accompanied me and Barb to a movie you mentioned that didn't do too well this week, Stitchhead.
Mm.
And it is a terrific, it should have been out a little earlier to take advantage of Halloween. I have seen more of these Pixar type movies over the last 4 years than I ever cared to again. This
That's
is
what
in that
grandpas
genre.
do.
It's a terrific movie. It's got a horror theme. It's all about monsters and the villagers, and it's a UK production. I think it's a bunch of European countries are involved in it because the credits went on forever, and there are very, very few names that look like the Muscatine, Iowa phone book. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
So I recommend that highly. Great, really great heart to this movie. Very funny. Little bit reminiscent of Pinocchio, the great Disney cartoon. And that's one thing. The other thing is, I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show all by myself at a matinee.
Wow. And how did it work? Did it work for you?
I loved it. And I immediately went out and got the soundtrack of the movie, tracked down the original cast album, and I hate going with an audience participation group. I hate to see it that way. It's that movie was great without an audience.
There you go.
and I highly recommend, because I know that Rob will back me up on this, and this is absolutely true. You really should find the sequel to that movie, which is called Shock Treatment. And I love that movie, and knowing that Rob is a man of exquisite taste, I'm sure that he shares with me my enthusiasm for, and this is not fake, I love the Shock Treatment.
Okay, I'm gonna
because I know one movie that Rob walked out of.
I'm gonna use the word motherfucker one more time, because this motherfucker sent me Shock Treatment. I've got a DVD of Shock Treatment.
I couldn't find the Blu-ray.
There isn't one, or there wasn't one.
Arrow did it. Now,
there is now. Yeah,
Arrow did it. You haven't watched it yet, have you?
Hell no. But the disc is the disc has been alphabetized, and it might be the one DVD I have left that I will never replace with anything better.
Well, if I can find the Arrow, I'll send that to you.
You don't have to, truly.
If I send you the Arrow, you'll feel like you have to watch it.
Really? Will I feel that way? Will I?
Well, look at it this way: if you don't watch it, I still get to taunt you.
Yes.
Win-win.
Yes. Let's remind everybody, you have The Return of the Maltese Falcon coming out this January. Can pre-order it right now. What I love is the man that wrote The Return of the Maltese Falcon, Dashiell Hammett's great Sam Spade, that he himself will tell you all of the great detective fiction, it was the template for the detective fiction he has mastered so well. I mean, this is the same man that wants me to watch the one movie I walked out of in my entire life again.
See,
that you can watch the rest of the movie that you missed.
How can you judge if you haven't seen the whole movie? Maybe it turned around.
You know what? I can't. That's very sound logic that I can't argue with you on.
And you still won't see it.
But you know how many discs I have stacked around me that I haven't seen? You want me? Look, I have how many Warner Archive discs that have higher bit rates? And they're stunning. I mean, Ricardo Montalban's in some of them. Come on.
I watch them for
Fritz
you
Lang
because
movies.
I get almost all of them, and my wife Barbara and I watch them, all of them. And in fact, as a segue, this is what I'm going to talk about. Okay,
let's go full frame. Show that one more time, Max. Yeah, look at that.
This is the Hollywood Legends of Horror collection, and it's an example of a DVD collection that he upgraded. Mostly they're not. I mean, there is a DVD version of this, and I threw it away already because this is looks great. Just looks great. And there are 6. It's Halloween weekend. I mean, it's not Halloween, but it's still Halloween weekend. And so Barbara and I watched all week, all 6 of the movies in this set. And it's really, really a great set. Anybody who's a horror fan or enjoys movies from the 30s is going to have a good time with this set. It has some fantastic movies in it. The first one I want to talk about is Mark of the Vampire. Now, Mark of the Vampire is not my favorite film on this, but it has a lot of merit and is something that it's one of those movies that you're only going to have that first time experience once. You don't get to repeat it because it is a surprise ending, twist ending movie, and then it transforms the movie into something completely different when you try to watch it on subsequent viewings. And for me, the subsequent viewings don't hold up to the first one at all. What's really significant about this movie is that it's a very rare instance of Bela Lugosi in his Dracula attire, basically playing a vampire again. And that's he only did that a few times. Basically in Dracula and in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And can you think of anything else he appeared as a straight out vampire or vampire unquote?
Not really. By the way, you should get closer to your mic again.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Just saying.
It was directed by so let me see who directed that. I think it was directed by Michael Curtiz? I'm sorry, I forgot to take a note on that. But the centerpiece of the movie is Lionel Barrymore, and it's kind of a hammy performance, and it's one of the things I don't care for in this movie is it's very overtly a melodrama. It's damn near tongue in cheek. However, the other movie that was directed, it was directed by Todd Browning.
Really?
Great horror. Yeah. He did Mark the Vampire, but he also did Devil Doll, which is a terrific movie. Devil Doll also stars Lionel Barrymore. And of course, Todd Browning, he did Freaks. He did the original of Mark the Vampire, which was it's a lost film, London After Midnight. I think there's a 40-minute reconstruction out there.
Yeah.
Basically based on stills. So it's a major missing film, but he remade his own film. But this is the guy who did Dracula, the guy who did Freaks, and so he's a major player in the early, in the Universal era of horror films.
Sure.
It's really unusual in its portrayal of essentially the villain in a very sympathetic way. Basically, the Barrymore character spends the film getting even with his former partners who'd framed him to send him to prison, and he's dispatching them, in some cases murdering them, and yet the movie is extremely on his side. it's famous for, and he's wonderful. He's as sort of hammy as he is in Mark the Vampire, he's spot on in this one. And he plays through most of the movie in drag, in kind of granny drag, because he goes back to a city where he'd be recognized, and he doesn't want to be recognized by the cops or by his former partners. So he turns into this this kind of granny character, and he's wonderful at, and it isn't hammy. It's quite credible. Now it has Maureen O'Sullivan in it, who was Jane in the earlier Tarzan movies. She's just luminous in this movie. She's gorgeous in this movie, and there's a real kind of heart-rending aspect of the movie, which is that she believes her father was a criminal, and so he's talking to her as this grandmotherly person, and we know it's the father, and he has to listen to her dissing how terrible her father was, and it's actually heart-wrenching. Now the gimmick here, and the major thing about this movie, what makes it remembered probably even a little bit more than Lionel Barrymore in drag, is that the devil dolls are little people who've been shrunk down and are controlled kind of by hypnosis, essentially, by strong concentration, by the by the owner of the.
But they're awesome.
And it's fabulous because a lot of it is done as practical effects.
Yeah.
They built gigantic chairs and tables, and I mean it's really done. And you look at them and you think, could there really be a table that big? Could there really be it's just really very impressive.
They repeated that stuff in like The Incredible Shrinking Man too. When they built, but I'm convinced that Peter Jackson knew that he could play games with perspective and they did a lot of the motion control with blue screen and things for the Hobbit and the Hobbits in Lord of the Rings. But I don't know this. I don't know if Michael Pellerin, when he interviewed Peter Jackson, asked him, but I'm convinced that Peter Jackson was able to do this because of the Devil Doll.
Well, it's a terrific movie, and it's not a pre-code movie, but the villain gets away with it.
Yeah.
In this movie, which I fucking love. Okay. So those are the two Lionel Barrymore movies, the two movies directed by Todd Browning. Let's move to Dr. X. Dr. X is also a very significant movie because it was a very early Technicolor, two-strip Technicolor movie. It stars Fay Wray in one of her early King Kong era Scream Queen appearances. In fact, they really know she's a Scream Queen because she screams several times in the movie, not really needing to. It's just like, well, okay, she's come through the door and is that my father? Getting a book out of his library. I think that a blood-curdling scream is called for now.
Girls got to get attention. Come on.
That's right. And so I have to say, in my opinion, it's a very interesting movie. It's a lot of fun to watch, but it's creaky. It's very creaky. And there's a couple of things about it. A lot of the dialogue is really raced through. And I don't know whether that was them not in an early talkie, not quite understanding that the audience has to understand what you're saying, or whether it has so much crazy science fiction gibberish that comes from the mad scientist that you don't want to listen to it too closely. It's not gonna hold up. There's a lot of good scares. It's definitely an important movie and one you're going to want to watch if you are a horror fan at all, as far as I'm concerned. It has Lee Tracy in it, and a lot of these movies kind of have a wise guy reporter in them, and he it's an odd thing in this movie because Lee Tracy, who's an actor I like a lot, his dialogue isn't terribly good. It's kind of forced, and it's an odd thing where he's both the comedy relief and the leading man. That's awkward. So that I have a little trouble with that, but a lot of fun. Preston Foster is, let's just say he's not doing his standard role as a hero or the hero's friend. It's a different kind of part. He's got wild hair, and so there's a lot of eccentric people in this movie. Then there's a movie called Return of Dr. X, also a Warner Brothers movie. These are all Warner Brothers movies, obviously. And
Well, they are from Warner Archive, brought to you by George Feltenstein and the folks at Warner Brothers.
That's right. And Return of Dr. X is meant to as a callback to that first movie, but it's not really a sequel. What's memorable about the Dr. X, before we move on, let me just mention that there is a companion piece to the first Dr. X, which is Mystery of the Wax Museum. And that's Fay Wray and Lionel Atwell again. And it's a much better movie. That's really a great movie. So let me move on to the sort of not really sequel to Dr. X, which is Return of Dr. X. It's a Michael Curtiz movie. It's made in 1939, which is the golden age of Hollywood.
Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz.
Absolutely. And Curtiz is considered to be one of the great Hollywood directors.
And he was cranking them out. He was a contract director to Warner Brothers.
That's right. And he did, and this is one of the least, maybe the least movie in here. But it's interesting. In some ways, it's interesting for kind of some awkward things it does. It starts out with one kind of protagonist who's, again, one of these reporters. He's not a wise guy reporter. He's supposed to be from like Wichita and kind of a rube. And so, always getting fired, by his boss. And he's kind of carrying a first, third of the movie. And then Dennis Morgan, who was another leading man, who's a doctor, not a crazy doctor, an actual doctor. The ball kind of gets passed to him. That's very unusual. And then suddenly the guy that was the protagonist becomes like the comedy relief. So this is kind of an awkward setup. Now, what really makes the movie kind of important is Humphrey Bogart, because Humphrey Bogart is Dr. X, and he is a reanimated corpse, basically, with the Bride of Frankenstein hair, where it's got dark hair with a white streak, and he looks like death warmed over, and he looks extremely uncomfortable in the part. He's miserable in this role. He's humiliated in this role, and it's a humiliating role for him, and great fun to watch. But just to watch him squirm, and to know that the very next two movies he's going to make are High Sierra and The Maltese Falcon, which, by the way, I have a book coming out called...
Really?
Yes.
Would it be this book? The Return of the Maltese Falcon, currently available for pre-order, comes out in January of 2026.
Well, of course, I wasn't fishing for you to do that, but I just thought this is a throwaway to give some context, of course. But here we have this guy.
How do you think we're going to buy our physical media going into the new year? We got to make stuff for people to buy.
That's true. That's true. We have to make stuff.
We have to make a living. Everyone devalues. I was told that I live in on Twitter today. I was told I live in a privileged bubble, and I'm like, apparently you know nothing about independent cinema.
Did you ever try
there's no privilege. There's no bubble. There's no privilege in any of that.
Yeah.
You coastal elites, please. Where's my credit? Where's my membership card? I want to join the coastal elites. Does that mean we get rich?
I do have to mention that there's a significant secondary player in Return of Dr. X, and that is Huntz Hall. And as with ninjas, anytime you add Huntz Hall to a movie, it's an improvement in my opinion.
It's true.
Also, it has Rosemary Lane in it, who's one of the famous four Lane sisters who were all, movie stars and stage actresses. And she's quite fetching. All of the Lane girls were really, really beauties. Priscilla Lane was in Arsenic and Old Lace, and was also in a couple of other kind of key movies, like Saboteur, which is a Alfred Hitchcock movie. So there's some interesting people wandering through Dr. X, and it's a quick watch. It's not very long, but it's significant. And it's kind of hard to understand why they did this with Bogart, because he was big enough to be billed above title at this point. And at the end credits, he gets the first billing. And if you watch the preview that's included with the archive edition of this, he's top billed in the preview. The preview totally plays him up, and it makes you kind of wonder, were they punishing him, putting him in his place before they gave him his big break? It's just peculiar. The other thing about the trailer, and this is one of the reasons why it's fun to look at these trailers on these discs, is that the trailer just is chock-a-block full of scenes that aren't in the movie. I mean, completely different scenes, locations that aren't in the movie. And that's not incredibly unusual.
Was it false advertising? What was it? Why do you think that was?
I have no idea. And a lot of these scenes look a lot more interesting than the scenes that they left in the movie. So it's hard to, but that's kind of one of the joys of when they do a nice big box like this. And we should say, all of these movies, by the way, have cartoons on them, or most of them do.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, Warner Archive is one of the greatest. Our favorite damn fool idealistic crusader once awarded Warner Archive their best retailer, or their best label of the year. And the only thing,
he's right. They're great.
100%. I mean, the only thing that Warner Archive has going against them for our audience is that so many people just don't go back that far with their movie watching.
They're missing out. And the last two movies on this set, and I should also mention, I'm not as good at this as DIETER is, but these are all individual discs. They're not slammed onto one or two discs.
Yeah.
So it really is, even though it's slender.
Show that again. Can you show that again? I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Sure. I don't have them turned around like I should, but all of these discs are every feature gets a disc.
Well, I mean, again, it's something I want to point out that one of the things that George Feltenstein does, and I'm not. Look, I just respect George Feltenstein immensely, but he makes sure that they have the highest bit rates, and you get the best versions on home video. I mean, he's been involved in home video for the better part of 4 decades really, but 5. He will never skimp, and he will give. I mean, Warner Archive will give you the best versions of the films. He would never reduce the bit rate and release them to the public. He never would. And that's why we're getting those individual masters.
A lot of these are designed to be an evening at the movies.
Right.
Couple, and there will be short. Sometimes it's a short. This is a really important box for horror fans. And you mentioned that some of them don't want to go back that far in history. The last two on here, I want to mention, you shouldn't ever miss. These should be on the, basically on the short list of maybe top 20 or even 15 horror movies of the era. The first one is Mad Love, which is directed by Karl Freund, who was a great director, but also was like the top director of photography in Hollywood for years and years and years. I mean, he did over 150 movies. just as the DP, and he did, I don't know, 20 or 25 as director. So this is a major guy, and the star is Peter Lorre.
And by the way, Max, it should be pointed out that for comic book fans, the idea of mad love has been cited in terms of like Joker and Harley Quinn. So this is something that if you are a Batman fan, this is essential viewing. So you can understand the context of what is being alluded to later.
I probably should mention that the director also did The Mummy, which is a major early horror film, obviously with Karloff. But Peter Lorre here in this one of his best appearances, younger appearances. He's a mad doctor, but not the usual kind of mad doctor. He's a mad physician. He's doing good, groundbreaking surgeries that are giving people a second chance to be alive, really. And yet he is obsessed. There's a woman he's obsessed with. And so it's this guy who's a philanthropist and a stalker, which is an interesting combo. And the actress is named Frances Drake, who I'm not really familiar with, but she's just genuinely gorgeous. And you kind of don't blame him for being Lorre being obsessed with her. And her husband who's a great pianist, is Colin Clive, the original Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And he looks a little rough here. I think he only had a year or two left to live. He did not live a long time, but he's a very intense and interesting actor. So but it's also the first of these movies that I know of where you have someone who has lost his hands, and his hands are like the strangler's hands are grafted onto the pianist's, the concert pianist's wrists. And so he's having trouble playing piano, but he's really good at throwing knives, which is, so, and that has been done a number of times. And it also is kind of like these disembodied hand movies all kind of come from it too. So there are a bunch of movies that seem to be cycled out of this one. It's a terrific movie. It has a certain amount of comic relief in it. Some of it is from Ted Healy. Now, do we know who Ted Healy is? He's the guy that put the Three Stooges together. The Three Stooges were Ted Healy's stooges. So he's a fast talking, guy, and it's very similar to that role that Lee Tracy plays in in Dr. X. But Healy is got better dialogue, and he has some interesting things to do in the plot. Now, I watched this with my wife. She was very irritated with his performance. I liked it. So it's, your mileage may vary, but it's such a dark movie that I can really understand, and I don't mind having some of the humor being comedy relief type humor. So that is a very I should mention too that the horror theme begins with this actress that Lorre is obsessed with, but she is an actress in the Grand Guignol, the Grand Guignol.
Grand Guignol, yeah.
Yeah.
And with the vampires in the movie.
Yeah, it was
people don't know Grand Guignol. They don't know what the French were doing with that kind of theater.
Yeah. And he's fallen in love with her by watching her being tortured on stage. I mean, it's some very.
I feel that way about half my ex-girlfriends.
Yes, it's true. Well, yeah, but he was seeing them tortured at a
not
distance.
True. I kid. I'm just making a joke.
But so I think this has a lot to offer people that are interested in horror films. Finally, and this last one is arguably not a horror movie, but it is a horror movie, and that's Mask of Fu Manchu. And that was something that you couldn't see for a long, long time, because even before, political correctness and wokeness had kind of come in, this was rough. It was because Fu Manchu is of course, the brilliant but evil Dr. Fu Manchu, who's trying to find various ways to rule the world. He's
total yellow peril fodder.
Yellow peril, and he's very much who Dr. No was taken from.
Yeah,
in the
of course.
First James Bond movie, and Christopher Lee famously played him in a bunch of movies, several very good ones, and others that were done by Jess Franco. And I don't have the highest opinion. I'm sorry, I know he's a cult guy, but Jess Franco and I do not get along. We're at opposite.
It's okay. I mean, you got to call it like you see it, Max. By the way, you know what? I trust your opinion because you have The Return of the Maltese Falcon coming out. So, you can talk all you want about Jess Franco.
Well, I thought you were going to say because I saw the merits of shock treatment, but nonetheless.
No, you know what? I'll tell you something. To be honest, you're never going to hear that from me. As much as I love you, I'm never going to capitulate. I'm never going to stand down. I'm never going to say that you're right about this, but I appreciate the fact that you sent me the DVD. Thank you.
Well, that was how my wife felt about it before I married her, but eventually I did wear her down.
It's true.
It can be done. But Mask of Fu Manchu is just a wild movie, and there's torture, and it's just crazy how much stuff there is, and the art direction, which is we don't really talk about art direction here much, do we? But there's a guy named Cedric Gibbons, who was the art director, and this is how famous he should be. He designed the Oscar. Okay.
Wow.
He designed it, and he won it 11 times. He won 11 times. He won the statuette that he designed.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. The movie has a great cast. Karloff is playing Fu Manchu. And that's one of the reasons why, it's a no-no, because it's yellowface, they say. But, he's brilliant. He's a sadistic, crazy would-be emperor, but he's brilliant. He is a doctor. He has doctorates and all kinds of things. And Karloff is just wonderful as him. Myrna Loy, before The Thin Man, before she began doing all the light comedy, she's the evil daughter of Fu Manchu. She's also wonderful. For those of you that do like movies from the 30s and 40s, Louis Stone, who is Judge Hardy in the Hardy Boy movies, is Nayland Smith. And Nayland Smith is Fu Manchu's British eternal foe. And he basically, if you read the Sax Rohmer books, which I read, Sax Rohmer was the author who created the Fu Manchu novels. Sax Rohmer was basically doing Sherlock Holmes. It's Sherlock Holmes up against a sort of James Bond kind of villain, pre James Bond. All the books with Nayland Smith, and he has a Watson character who isn't in this movie, I don't think, but he's definitely portrayed as Sherlock Holmes. The difference being that Sherlock Holmes probably would have caught Fu Manchu in the first go round, and there were 16 or 18 books or something where Nayland Smith tried to catch Fu Manchu. There's also Charles Starrett, who went on to be a B-movie actor. He made like 100 B-movie westerns. Very interesting film. I highly recommend it unless you're offended by this kind of thing. But for a long time you couldn't see this movie, and it's only been recently that some of the footage was put back in, because when this first came out to home video, I don't know, there was something like 5 minutes clipped from it, 5 or 10 minutes, all because of torture and all the kinds of things we're not supposed to enjoy watching.
But on this show,
But on this show,
martyrs we hold in
Yeah.
high regard.
I've never
Exactly.
seen Martyrs. Do I need
Well,
to?
you know what, Dietz? Apparently, Max Allan Collins is no longer on this show. I feel terrible about it.
I,
You know,
I
I'm
have a
friends
second
with him.
copy that I can send you, Max, if you want.
Well,
But it's not a coffee and cake
I
movie.
understand that.
No.
If I were running a show and there were a guy who wouldn't watch Shock Treatment, I might toss him off. It's possible. But
It's possible.
sometimes friendship overcomes short-sightedness on the part of one of the two people.
You know what? Even I must succumb to cogent logic and thinking. You are correct, sir.
Okay. Now, I've got a couple that aren't Warner Archives. I actually have a couple here. I got one that I actually paid for. Well, I paid for the Warner Archives too. But I wanted to mention the Bob Odenkirk starring Nobody 2, which is a sequel to Nobody. And it's a current
Is this
release.
already out, Max?
It's on, and this is Blu-ray, but I've got a 4K of it with a slipcover.
I'm surprised it's already out.
It's a terrific movie. Now, I've seen some complaints about this movie, saying that it's a retread. And you know, with a sequel, you have two choices. You can do the same thing again in a somewhat different way, or you try to turn it on its head. Like they did in Megan with Megan 2, also a movie I like that I know Rob doesn't like. But
me.
did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 was nice.
Well,
nice.
look.
Nice.
Look. I get you guys like the film. I do think that it changed up. It was leaning into things. I understand that the box office told the story. I think the film veered away to, like, we can like it in our own little bubble, but I don't think that Megan 2 served the original film well. It was no Terminator 2 after all.
Well, I like it anyway.
Yeah, you can. I'm not
was
saying
nice
you can't.
schlock entertainment.
Look, Rob, it's fair. Let's vote. Who thinks Megan 2 is really good?
I'm leaving my own show. I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah. He's kicking us out, Max. He's still the manager of the
No.
B&B.
You guys can have the
BBC
show.
with it.
I'm leaving. I'm out.
No, but a lot of times that when you turn it on its head,
Yeah, back to Nobody too. Yeah.
Look, I agree. I agree.
that will make a lot of people just not like it. I mean, we did the same thing with we did the little movie Mommy, and in the second movie, Mommy is the villain in the first movie, and Mommy is the hero in the second movie. Some people love that, and some people really wanted to just see
But
the first
that's
movie
also
again.
that's why Terminator 2 works.
Yeah. So it can work. It can work. It's just a matter of, but it is Terminator 2 is maybe a bad example just because it's so much bigger and such a great movie on its own. But a lot of times when you try to not do the same thing again, you get resistance, and sometimes you fuck up, and maybe they did in Megan 2. But one thing that helped it for me with Megan 2 was I'd heard so much negative about it that when I watched it, I was like, what were they talking about? So sometimes if they bring your expectations way down, then you just you
got nothing to lose, Max. You got nothing to lose.
That's right. Anyway, and Nobody 2 is really a redo of the first movie, just in a different setting, and it has maybe a slightly bigger action conclusion, although Nobody had a pretty big action conclusion itself. It's the same writer, Derek Kolstad, I guess is how you pronounce it. And the director is a really interesting Indonesian filmmaker. Timo.
He did some great stuff for Netflix.
Yeah.
Some great action
did.
stuff from
Timo
on
Shanto,
Netflix.
I think is his name. And I think also the movie is very interesting. Colin Hanks plays a really good secondary bad guy. The original cast is mostly back, I think, including Christopher Lloyd, Connie Nielsen, and so. Oh, and Sharon Stone plays a
She's
villain
the villainess. Although I have to say,
out of and I guess this is one difference. It's kind of almost moving into that John Wick territory of upping the ante, because she seems more like a John Wick villain than you might expect. Not that the villain in Nobody was major, but he was like a local big shot, and she's somebody running crime all over hell, and I think this screenwriter wrote one of the John Wicks.
You have the same stunt team, They were always talking about a little bit of a crossover, even.
Yep.
Well, it's really good, and one of the things I like about it is that I like the fact that it's a revenge movie. Okay, I mean, it's a getting even movie. Okay, and a lot of times in that kind of movie where somebody is bullied, the bully, he has to be bullied, or maybe once, gets bullied again, okay, and the third time explodes. This fucker explodes immediately. I mean, you're waiting. You're watching this thing. How long is it going to take for things to go wrong on this vacation that he's taking? The answer is about 10 minutes. I mean, it's just not, and that includes the first 5 minutes of the movie where he killed a bunch of people. So, if you like Nobody and don't like the second one, I just don't understand it. Yes, it's more of the same. And Odenkirk it's so interesting to see him as an action hero.
That was the surprising part of the first one, And the problem is, of course, with the second one, you can't have that surprise anymore, So for me, it was a little bit step down. Still a good one, but a step down from the first one.
Well, I was surprised that he'd had a heart attack and came back and did this again.
Yeah.
I mean, I really was. I mean, my wife said a couple times, "Didn't he have a heart attack?" I said, "Yeah, he had a heart attack." So he's gung ho. I think we'll get him Nobody 3. I doubt it. I don't think it did terribly well at the box office. But I liked it. I liked it very much.
Awesome.
Now we come to Radioland Murders, 1994 movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find myself in my little niche here having to say a movie's worth watching because it's interesting.
Now I have to say, I mean, to give it all its full due. So Kino Lorber just put this out.
It's beautiful.
Radioland Murders, and it's a great transfer. And there's audio commentary on here, and there's an interview with Brian Benben on here. I think it's archival.
Very, very good.
And I'm a huge I love Dream On. I love Brian Benben. I love the fact that he's married to Madeline Stowe. He's a hero of mine. I saw this movie when it first came out, and I'm glad Kino Lorber put it out. But, and I leave that but to you, Max.
Well, and I have to say, one of my favorite thing on the disc was the Brian Benben interview.
Yeah.
Because he was, in a very measured way, you kind of had to read between the lines, but you could see how disappointed he was, not in the movie's reception, but in the way the movie actually was directed, was presented. He's very badly directed in this movie. He's terrific on Dream On. Was a favorite of mine.
Look, this film is, I always talk about tone.
Yes.
This movie is a failure on every level of tone, managing tone.
Well, it has one tone,
Yeah.
which may be the problem. which is frantic, a
Yeah.
frantic tone. And well, let's talk just a couple of things that are interesting. First of all, George Lucas, it's his story, and apparently was a labor of love of his. I don't know if you people are familiar with George Lucas, but he made some other movies and had quite a bit of success, and apparently was able to do whatever the hell he wanted to do. Not always a good idea.
And I mean, Rick McCallum produced this, and so did Fred Roos was a producer on this film.
Well, and Lucas's co-writers were Willard Hayek and Gloria Katz, who did American Graffiti, which
And
is
Temple of Doom.
And they did Temple of Doom. Now, I know some people don't care for Temple of Doom, but I like it, and I love American Graffiti. They did a movie called French Postcards, which is kind of forgotten, which is...
Then there's
really
Howard the
kind of
Duck.
They did Howard the Duck, didn't they? They did that. And suddenly the phone wasn't ringing anymore, I'm afraid. And I think that's what happened to Brian Bam Bam, because he was so poorly directed. He's directed in such a frantic way, and he's smiling all the time. And I think he was positioned to be a major star after Dream On. And it didn't crush him. He's had a really good career, but he hasn't had the career he deserves. And as a fan of his, that's disappointing to me. Let's just talk about the cast. Here are some of the people in this movie: Jeffrey Tambor, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Billy Barty, one of my favorites, Candy Clark from American Graffiti, Bo Hopkins, Harvey Korman, Robert Klein as comedy. How could you go wrong with these very talented, funny people in a cast? Well, you can go wrong by giving them nothing to do. Nothing to do. Giving them... Robert Klein has, I think, one line. Okay? That's a problem. The three leads, Ned Beatty, who often was wonderful in movies, is not wonderful here. Michael Lerner, who was a character actor a lot of people used, and was a very
I knew him a little bit.
He's so bad in this movie. I'm sorry. He's so bad in this movie. The pace is trying to ape early 30s comedies like the early Abbott and Costello movies from late 30s, early 40s. Am I the only person that remembers Wheeler and Woolsey? How about you, Rob?
No, I'm sorry, Max. I don't.
Okay, well, do you remember Laserdiscs, or are you too young to remember Laserdiscs?
Okay. Since you brought this up, let me just show you a little AI video of me as Laser Bob from 1987.
Oh, I'm glad my wife didn't meet you. I would have been in trouble.
By the way, that was an AI. That photograph is real. That was AI generated. That was on the cover of the Seattle Times Sunday calendar section. I was Laser Bob. I was the star of the late from 80 to 87. I was 88, actually 87 to 88. Pardon me, 80 to 88. I was a fixture on the home video scene in Seattle. And that was me dressed. That's a photograph. I'm a little embarrassed by that, but the AI makes me look really cool. Let's watch it again, shall we? Look at that. Come on. And people always ask me, why am I showing Out of Africa? Because that was the big movie that was released that week on Laserdisc. Just saying.
What I really like is the Rodney Dangerfield tie action.
That was an AI generated thing. It was just I was just responsible for the Seattle Times. Was responsible for the photo. The AI did that, and I'll take it.
Well, do you remember? I think it was Image who did this, but there was a lot of RKO stuff released on Laserdisc.
It was Image. It was Image.
And a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that they put out has never been back out again. And those are Laserdiscs I'll hold on to. Somebody at Image, or maybe whoever was licensing this stuff, were Wheeler and Woolsey fans, and they were a comedy team, obviously before Abbott and Costello, and very verbal. The movies are very fast, and all of their movies were released on Laserdisc. I mean, there's like 30 Wheeler and Woolsey. I love them. They're not all, but then again, I like the Ritz brothers. And, we have our annual Ritz Brothers Association of Appreciation has its annual convention every year in a very small hotel room. So
you don't bring him to the C wing of the B&B motel?
Well, yeah, the rooms are a little bit too luxurious for this group.
Wow.
Just a little bit
Our
too nice.
Rooms?
Yeah.
I've never heard the B&B motel described as luxurious before.
Well, my point, which I was wandering toward,
who knew, Dietz? We're luxurious.
Yeah,
in the C wing, at least.
That's always, well, 30s. Some of these 30s comedies had a very, very fast pace.
Yeah.
As did radio shows of that era, comedy radio shows like Fibber, McGee and Molly and Great Gildersleeve and so on. They really had a quick pace. I think that's what Lucas was going after here. And although the director is Mel Smith, who's a British, I think thing he's most famous for in America is he's in the Harry Potter movies, I think. He's ostensibly the director, but the behind the scenes photos, some of which are in that Brian Benben interview, show clearly that George Lucas is in everybody's face. He's clearly directing it. Fine. I mean, great director. This is not his forte. Let's put it that way. It's interesting. He hasn't really made anything, outside his wheelhouse ever since then, and that probably makes makes a lot of sense. The pace is so punishing to the viewer that it's just almost intolerable. And what's really ironic, and this is kind of a spoiler, and I'm sorry, but you find out at the end of the movie that what the movie is really about is how radio is going to die and TV is going to take over. And this wonderful world of radio is going to be gone. But the problem is that the way they present radio, they've got a studio audience, as radio shows often did. But what's happening on stage is not, 4 microphones with actors coming up and talking into the microphones.
Right.
Elaborately early TV type or even modern TV type live action, comedy with, the thing that I just astounded me was they had a Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers kind of couple dancing. What exactly are they hearing in the audience, in the radio audience? It's bewildering, the choices they made. I happen to be an old radio fan, and when this came out, I ran to the theater, and I limped out.
Well, that's what she
But you
said.
stayed all the way through, at least.
That was cruel. But that was an easy one. I lobbed that to you. You
did lob that to me, and I thought it was good. It actually, makes you look good. If she limped out, you did well.
Well, that's true. That's true. Now, it's a really nice disc. It's a beautiful transfer. You may disagree with my assessment of this. If you're a Lucas fan, if you're really a Lucas fan, you probably need this in your library.
No, I mean, I have a theory. So if you look at George Lucas, he's directed THX 1138. He directed American Graffiti. He directed Star Wars. And then the trilogy. So those are the only movies he's made. He's made, 6 films?
Yeah.
And no one liked... I love THX 1138. I really do. And I love American Graffiti. Star Wars was a cobbled together mess, but we can talk about that, later. But everyone knows that, and I love Star Wars. But he really directed 2 films that are considered terrific.
Yeah.
And I think that THX 1138 and American Graffiti are uncut George Lucas. And, everything else he wanted to do. I think the problem with George Lucas is he's always been a little disconnected from humanity. He was the uber nerd. He grew up in Modesto. He loved cars. He almost died. He fell in with the whole hippie, dippy American zoetrope people up in San Francisco, which served him well. But he's a man that the sequel trilogy or the prequel trilogy, the big problem with that is his detachment from people. And the real problem with the prequel trilogy is no human beings in that movie feel legitimate. There's no humanity verisimilitude where it's all over Star Wars because you had actors that were able to imbue their performances. I don't know. Do you think a princess and a guy like me? No. And there's a lot of humor and Star Wars works because he had Marcia Lucas and all of his friends contributing that were human beings. But George has always been a nerd, an uber nerd. God love him. But
I
this
agree.
film,
American Graffiti is one of my favorite films.
it's incredible because it's his life. It's the thing he knew best.
Look at the stars, the actors that he discovered in that movie. I mean,
Amazing.
It's crazy.
And that's the thing that he knew. The thing was, when you take him out of his milieu, he gets further and further away from what he knows best. THX 1138 is a literary construct movie. So you can it's based on dystopian sci-fi that you can distill from. And
but look,
the inhumanity of that movie is why it works.
But we can't forget that he did contribute to the screenplays of some of the Indiana Jones movies. So he's the screenwriter on at least one, I think.
Well, I mean, you had Lawrence Kasdan wrote Raiders. He was the person that he wanted Indiana Jones in Crystal Skull to lasso a flying plane with his bullwhip. That was not in the movie, but
no.
And God bless George Lucas. I mean, there's no, but the fact is, I think that the insular nature of who he is affected his filmmaking, and that's why I mean, look, you can talk about the revisionist history. This movie is made by people who didn't understand why screwball comedy of the 30s worked.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch it, you're looking. It's what this movie defined. I mean, Keanu Lorbert's great that they put it out, but this movie defines the term tone deaf.
Yeah, I agree. And there were 2, when I mentioned Wheeler and Woolsey, they did do like a murder in radio station while radio shows were being presented, and it was remade by Abbott and Costello. It was called Who Done It. So that's probably where the idea to do this came from. He and probably saw those on TV as a kid and probably loved them.
Yeah,
as I did. But there's some things you can't analyze, and you can't analyze comedy. You've got to. I mean, people try. But either you're funny or you're not funny.
Well, also when you're trying to recreate an era. I mean, comedy is so contingent on the society that's around it at the time. It's funny. I go back and I watch Airplane. I think Airplane's one of the funniest movies ever made. It's 45 years old this year, and you watch that film, and we have become a society that is ashamed of what we laugh at.
Well, that's true.
And the fact is, what we always laugh at, and the best thing about comedy is all about truth. And whether it's uncomfortable truth or whether it's truth we don't want to admit, we laugh. Because when comedy is its most truthful, it's its most funny. And we have suddenly become not suddenly, but our world is, the thing about comedy is by definition, it is affectionate. When it looks into the disparate nature of people, when comedy pokes fun at all of us, sometimes really dark comedy goes to places that we don't want to admit exist, but we know that it does exist. And what's really interesting about comedy is, especially in the modern age, we've become uncomfortable with truth. And comedy cuts right through that. And I think that's a real problem with our civilization today. And when you watch a movie like Airplane, people are all so worried now, oh, it might be racist. What, you don't think these things? It's so interesting that we need to come to grips, or we need to come clean about what we all think about. What every civilization thinks about. We all think about bad shit about other people. But we know it's bad shit, and we feel bad for thinking it, but it doesn't make it any less true. Stereotypes are stereotypes because they're true. And the fact is, I think the fact that we are no longer honest about comedy shows how dishonest our civilization has become. And comedy was the quickest way to cut through the dishonesty. And now we're all like, uh-oh, because we want to pretend we're better than we really are. And comedy is really good at that.
3 of my favorite things, and these aren't movies exactly, but you got Monty Python, you got SCTV, you've got Little Britain. None of those could be done today.
No, because people are afraid of the truth. And that's the problem. They don't understand that comedy was a way to cut through. We all want to pretend. But there's no pretending with comedy. No. And the thing about comedy is, it's not whether comedy is good or bad. It just gives you something to think about. And it's so weird how we're trying to legislate comedy over the last 10 years.
Well, here's an irony. The best comedy I've seen in a long time came from Germany. It was called Bang, Boom, Bang.
And I'm sorry to say, Max, you can't win a second copy, even if you know the answer later. You can't win a second copy, Rob.
Okay,
Max.
okay.
You already have your copy.
Oh, I should. Dieter, now I think we should explain something to people. The C Wing is not exactly a wing of the motel. It's freestanding here in my part of the world. That's why I have to explain to these 2 gentlemen what's been going on in what is essentially their own business. I don't have much to report. I don't have much to report this week, except very relieved to say that our Halloween Friday night special, where we gave 50% discount to any couple coming as Michael Myers and a babysitter, it went extremely well, and we only had 1 homicide.
Wow.
Now last year we had 2. So I think we're moving in the correct direction on that score, gentlemen.
Well, all right, Max. I mean, that said,
Good Halloween.
I'd prefer no homicides at all, but I guess we're going to have to go the way you sent. Well, listen, Max, I want to thank you for being here again. What a great lineup of things that you discussed. I recommend everyone get that box set from Warner Archive. It's great. And then, of course, Nobody 2. Hey, I like the Nobody franchise. I like both the films. I think they're both a lot of fun. And obviously the people making it were having a really great time.
Definitely.
So we're going to let Max go, but we want to make sure that everybody knows, go right now and pre-order The Return of the Maltese Falcon. Comes out in January of 2026, and you can also get the original film in 4K from Warner Brothers. And if you've never seen the Maltese Falcon, why haven't you?
Is True Noir still available?
You know what? It's funny that you say that, Max, because yes, true noir is
Outside in the warm Miami air, Winchell turned to me.
What was your name again, kid?
Rob, check
It's
the super
still
chat. Perhaps
Heller.
there were
Nathan
questions for
S.
Max.
Heller.
I don't know.
Aren't you gonna
Oh, I
spell
know,
it?
but I'm
Look,
playing it.
I don't want to
okay,
be in
you're
your
gonna interrupt
story.
True
Good,
Noir?
because you're not.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Let's go back. That was, by the way,
I don't hear those.
that was
clips, Rob.
Corey
No.
Landis. Corey Landis playing. Who did Corey Landis play, Max? One of the great broadcasters of all time.
Walter Winchell, and
Walter
Corey
Winchell.
also was very instrumental in the production of which you directed. After
Yes,
all,
I was insistent that we had an actor read with every actor, and Corey Landis not only played Walter Winchell, he read with every other actor, and he was incredible. But we will go through. We will go through. Now I was going to go through these. Don't worry, I'll get this. So we're gonna. First of all, we have Zach Losel, who's been to this house. Shalom, Rob, and Dieter. Congratulations on the premiere of White Devils. Probably out of the loop, but where can we get our sweaty hands on it? Proust L'Chaim from San Francisco.
Prost.
Well, Prost. You say it. How do you say it?
Prost.
And I'll say L'Chaim. So Zach, you can get it right now. You can go to White Devils the movie, or White Devils the movie. On all the things that is all on social media, it will link you. You can go get it for the next 2 weeks, not just 1 week, but 2 weeks, and you can get it for $9.99 and watch it and get it out there, and but for a very limited time. So check that out. Stubble McShave says, "What is the launch date for the short story competition? I have decided which story to write, and I've started some of the planning of it." The short story competition for the anthology, The Imagination Connoisseurs, is going to launch at the end of this coming week. So I've got all of that going on, and the deadline will be January 31st, 10,000 words or less. But the entry fee is steep. It's $50 because I don't want a bunch of AI slop coming our way. You need to write, and we have 2 different professional editors who are going to be editing the stories. That's what the money's for. So that's what's going to happen. Agent Silver Fox said, "I just looked at my collection, and from a red-blooded American male, thank you, Jennifer Connelly." Well, does that mean that you have the hot spot? Because you should. I'm just saying. Richard Curtis says, a $26 super chat, says, "I would definitely go to a live event." Hang on a second. Wait, there's all these things that suddenly all these things just dropped in. Hang on. I have to go back. So Richard Curtis says, "I would definitely go to a live event when next in America. I'm planning to visit the West Coast, starting in Vancouver, Canada, which is great. I love Vancouver. I started my drinking career there, and I also went to the expo in 1986, where I saw Show Scan for the first time because I'm from Seattle. Then through Seattle to Portland. Oh, hit me up. I will set you up. There's also a Bavarian town in Washington I want to visit. It's called Leavenworth. It's very interesting, and it's not the prison. So I would check it out. It's delightful." Garrett Groover says, "My copy of Martyrs in 4K is currently in transit. What other French extremity movies do you recommend?" Well, Dieter, what do you recommend?
Well, of course, we have the other 3 from the Horror Revolution.
Inside,
and Frontiers.
And Frontiers, yes. That's the quadrilogy, really.
That's a quadrilogy, correct, Rob? Let me just think. There was a great zombie outbreak movie, but I don't remember the name right now. That came out, but I don't know when that one came out. And I'm sure there were other follow-ups to those movies.
Nice. Secular Monk says, "When can we get our 4K criterions for Free Enterprise and Agent Cody Banks?" They know they want to do it. Well, I don't know if they want to do Cody Banks. Free Enterprise, maybe 2026. That's the year of Free Enterprise. That's all I can say. Castle Grayskull.
Cody Banks is at least available as a Blu-ray.
And you can get great media books from Germany because I have Dieters.
Yes.
Castle Grayskull says, nobody bit me on Halloween. I'm sorry for that. I wasn't on. I apologize. I went and saw Begonia, and, what can I say? Castle Grayskull also gifted 5 Burnettwork memberships. Stubble
Nice.
McShave says, American Graffiti was one of the most profitable films of all time. It was. With a production budget of $770,000, it made over $140 million. The production budget was less than 1% of box office, and still, Universal said no to Star Wars. Crazy. Richard Curtis goes on to say, have any of you heard of Jesus on Mars by Philip Jose Farmer? That is my current read. I have not, but I do Philip Jose Farmer is the architect of the Riverworld novels, which I was just having a conversation about this with my friend Alvaro. They are impossible premise novels that just went on and on and on, but that's a different story. Richard Curtis goes on to say Mel Smith directed Wit based on a Tom Sharp novel. Unfortunately, I think he also directed Blues Brothers 2000. Could be.
Hey.
Richard Curtis goes on to say Mel Smith isn't credited for directing anything on IMDb, although I'm sure he did some directing. As someone else said, Max Landis directed Blues Brothers 2000. My bad there. Ooh, ouch. A burn. Well, Max, on that note, we're going to say
Gentlemen,
goodbye.
great to see you both.
You
Dieter,
too.
has my package arrived yet?
Not yet, Max. Otherwise, I would have shown it. Unfortunately, not. Otherwise, I would, of course, would have shown it.
See you next week, and I'll have more old movies to talk about. I
I love it. All right, Max, thank you. And by the way, everybody, go pre-order. I can't speak it. Max Allan Collins wrote The Return of the Maltese Falcon, coming out in January 2026. So
Sign that thing, Max. Sign that thing.
Yeah, we will let Max go, and it's always great to see him. It's great to have him here. We feel, of course, very privileged.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to have him. So, Max, I bid you. What do we say? Adieu.
Adieu.
Adieu. Adieu.
Now, Dietz, I'm going
And we
to
had
throw.
somewhat. Yeah.
I'm going to throw it to you to do
Okay.
the live chat. Do the live chat
Nice.
first.
Nice. Not a problem. Or I could do the Bang Boom Bang giveaway.
Do what you
Whatever
want.
you
I'm going to leave it up to you.
Okay. I would say I do the Bang Boom Bang giveaway, people. But please, if you're not interested in owning that cult movie that Max called third best movie that he's seen this year after Sinners and Weapons, even if it's a little bit of a different genre, it comes with English subtitles, but it is a region code B movie. So you need to have a code B player or multi-region free player, of course, to own this now sold out steelbooks from Bang Boom Bang. The question: director Peter Torwart did a Netflix vampire movie. Name the title of the Netflix vampire movie that Peter Torwart did. He directed Bang Boom Bang. Probably some Googling going on. If you're not immediately familiar, we'll keep a lookout on the live chat. Who's first? At least I hope somebody's interested in it. Otherwise, I will send it to Thomas Logan, which I sent a copy out to him. But he didn't get his one, and it looks like it will be lost, unfortunately, in the mail. So I'm waiting just a little bit. Hopefully, someone is interested in owning the third best movie that Max Allan Collins has seen this year. There's Plato is here with a super chat. He says, I'm here. Let's get this party started. A little bit late to the party. No one's seen the great vampire movie that he did do for Netflix. I hope, Joseph. I hope. I will wait a minute. Or Thomas, I will send you a second copy that you hopefully will get then, because we try to check about the whereabouts of the package, but unfortunately, it's lost. There you go. There we go. Blood Red Sky, correct. Leonard Gillen, 7057. I hope you're on Instagram so I can get your address. You're right. Blood Red Sky was the vampire movie he did for Netflix. So you will get it. Reach out to me somehow that I could get your address. You will get.
Well, that's exciting.
Movie. Bang, boom, bang. Blood Red Sky was the vampire movie. So, should I do the live chat, Rob?
Well, yeah. If you're happy,
okay.
I mean, why not?
Previously on Let's Get Physical Media, I tried to give Rob 110 euros that he could buy Warner Brothers, chip in a little bit, perhaps Max chipped a little bit, but he said Warner said no, it's not enough. And BCH2 said, I think you'll need a little more than 110 euros.
By the way, I just want to point out that Darth Plato did send in a super chat just now and said he's here.
Okay.
So you can get this party started.
Yeah, we're doing that. And BCH went on. So it would be Warner Brothers B&B. Well, that would be the title, Warner Brothers B&B. Then we had Cult Cinema for 83. I will support indie movie making, but after the whole Madame Web debacle, Stuckman will get no support from moi. I mean, I would say respect for Chris.
What about White Devils?
Yeah, correct. So Cult Cinema, go out, rent it. It's now available worldwide. I think, Rob, it's possible to rent it worldwide.
It is available worldwide. WhiteDevilsTheMovie.com is the website, and then it'll take you to the link. Go, and it's $9.99, well spent.
$9, yeah. I mean, I would say respect for Chris, top 10 with his first feature, and I totally forgot. Actually, since I financed a little bit the Kickstarter campaign too, I got the first item. Actually, I got a poster for Shelby Oaks actually last week. Joseph, 7988. He says, I showed Sayara. Bloodiest movie? That's a big statement coming from DIETER. I said, for this year. And Alex Sorba asked, is it more brutal than Martyrs? Tough to say because I saw Martyrs again, but I would say
it's
yes.
It's a tone issue.
Yeah, correct. It's a little different. So Sayara, for me, total blast. Justin Sanchez, 8918. DIETER might be the coolest dude on YouTube. I'm trying to sell that. Danzig, 1979. Because I was not aware of that.
Wait.
Shelby Oaks is...
wait, I just want to say, I discovered you. I have an eye for talent. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. But you said if you don't bring anything to the table, there's the Hollywood door. Don't let it hit you on your way out of Hollywood. Justin Sanchez
still
says,
here though.
Oh, wait, this was correct, Rob. After almost 5 years now, no, we're in November, Rob. We're coming close to closing our 5th season.
Yeah, I forget what that date is. We're in November. Do you know what the date is?
I think it was November 14th when you aired the first show. I think it was November 14th, but I have to check. I think 14 or 20th. Need to check. Danzig, 1979. Shelby Oaks is also showing in UK cinemas, including my hometown. Nice. Unfortunately, no release here because the movie, of course, needs distribution here, needs a dub, of course, More work to do. Kando, 0073. DIETER, Amazon was it? They're terrible with their packaging. I had to send a complaint to managing director. I hope you got through to him, so then things can perhaps change a little bit. Joseph, 7988. Dieter does seem a bit out of focus today. Yeah, so sorry, people. I did put the slider of out of focus on off, not the slider for the manual settings. Alex Sorber. Dieter is always a bit out of focus, if you can get my drift. With my hot takes, with my great reviews.
That is not true. I resent that. Dieter is always in focus.
The Alex Sorber goes on. I'm about to go against my own best instincts and order, mothers. Lord help me. You did the right choice. Memphis Kane, poor Dieter. He has to spend all his money and then tracks out a huge box of freebies. That's how it is in Hollywood. You know, some do the work, others get the benefits. That's how we roll.
That's what makes me a privileged Hollywood elite.
Yeah, elitist. David Smart Jr. wants to know, Robert, I need to ask, who's your favorite boogeyman for the modern era? Do you have something like a boogeyman for the modern
favorite
era?
Boogeyman for the modern era? Well, there's a lot. There's a lot to say. I mean, I could have a snarky answer like Donald Trump, but that's political. I mean, I don't mean to say that. Oh, I'm kidding. It's
thin ice, Rob, thin ice.
You know what? I got to tell you, my favorite. Yeah. I have an answer for this. My favorite boogeyman for the modern era is from Robert Eggers' The Witch. Ooh. It's Black Phillip the goat.
Good idea.
I live deliciously. Black Phillip is my boy. And I know a lot of people might be unsatisfying for some, but I think Robert Eggers' The Witch is a masterpiece of atmosphere. But I love Black Phillip. I mean, the thing is, Black Phillip is a guise that has been taken on by Satan, by who knows. But live deliciously is a motto I follow to a T. I believe,
there you go. There you have your
I
boogeyman.
Believe in Black Phillip.
Major Chai. Will that movie get Dieter in trouble? And Cult Cinema answered, I would stay at home tomorrow, Dietz, just to be sure. Major Chai, the F4 Steelbook leaves me more excited than the actual movie. I totally can see that. And I saved it. I showed it last week, but I was sure that I come to it in Super Chat because Steelbook is really nice for it. The Steelbook for F4. Big This Energy 672. I love Ballerina. I saw it 3 times in theaters. Big This Energy, you and I got Shuttlecraft, the same Shuttle Bay, even if I haven't seen it 3 times in the theaters, but at least about 2 versions of it. Admiral 666, I watched Rob's Tron making of yesterday. Very informative.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a labor of love.
Yeah, certainly. Tommy Merriman, because Rob showed it last week. Yeah, Death Wish 3 is the best one. And Brian Knight informs me, considering this movie was shot 9 days, the filming location for Ilsa was the original set for the TV series Hogan's Heroes before it was torn down in the 1970s. I read up on it, and they were happy if they blew the stuff up and had to get rid of it themselves. Altmetall, because Max was talking not only about Bang Boom Bang, he went into deep in the Bullets and Betrayal box set from Arrow. And Altmetall says, I'm still thinking of buying this, but I'm skeptical about the transfers. The transfers, for me, are not a problem, but you need to remember those are direct-to-video movies.
Yeah.
So they come in 1/33 to 1, no video aspect ratio, And of course, they are more low budgeted. They are direct to video movies. You have to keep that in mind if you buy that box set. And one great slogan that Max did last week, I need to remember that. BCH reminded me of that. I've seen some well-made disappointments, like Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning this year. A well-made disappointment. I need to remember that. And Albertal says the same thing as Max and I. Bang Boom Bang is funny. And the Alex Sorber, I buy far too much while watching the stream. Well, Alex, at least for those 2 hours or 3 hours, I'm safe and not purchasing anything. Walter Whitewalker did one AI clip of Rob, 2 of me, and BCH says that was an actually good use for artificial intelligence. But there we have one of those. And Handello says, did Max
I am Pharaoh of physical media.
Anyway,
I am
but
Pharaoh
if he wants to pronounce it correctly, you have to do it like Rob does, with power, push it through, Saarbrücken.
Deutschland.
This was live chat. This was live chat readout, Rob, from last week.
All right. Well, that was good.
Over to
So
you,
now we are into the news. Some big news. Breaking news, everyone. They're finally releasing. We know it was coming. We are getting Ben-Hur. Moses. Judah Ben-Hur is coming to Blu-ray and Blu-ray 4K. We have it on Blu-ray. I have to say, I watched Ben-Hur for...
Is this the actual cover, Rob?
No. The artwork is to be determined. These two things, I stole these from Groove. Groove announced these, I think, first. We knew this was coming. They've shown this. They've shown this restoration. It's incredible. The Blu-ray definitely is old. I have the beautiful Blu-ray box set for Ben-Hur. It's great, but the transfer is definitely lacking. I watched it 2 years ago with Elizabeth and her parents on New Year's Eve. I spent my New Year's Eve not only just watching this movie, but then the special features. So this is a great film, one of the greatest movies ever made. Can't wait to get it in 4K. And not to be outdone, we're also getting All the President's Men. Paul Newman and Robert Redford as Woodward and Bernstein, obviously exposing President Nixon, the Watergate scandal. And again, they don't know what the cover is, but along with things like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, we're getting some real classic 70s cinema from Warner Brothers in 4K on Steelbooks, which is great.
It's just strange, Rob, that they know the inside of the steelbook, but not the outside.
Well, I think this is probably a mock-up. I don't know if they even know the inside, but they're coming and they just put these out. Now, this is exciting, Dieter. Disney has announced The Emperor's New Groove. First of all, I love this movie, but many people don't know. I worked on the special features for this DVD, and we did extensive at Curdy Pellerin, same company that did Tron and Lord of the Rings. We did some really great special features for this movie that I don't think have been seen. I hope they go back to them because we went to the Disney Animation Building when it was brand new, and we. If I remember,
it was a double DVD set that came.
Yeah, it was a big box set on DVD, and
I still have that.
We worked well. You can see our special features. The special features for this, if I do say so myself, I was a small part, but I was worked on them early on in my special features career, and they're fantastic. So much fun, and I hope they're on here because that would be great.
I would think so, Rob. They ported everything over with the Tron franchise. I think I just assume.
I would hope so, but I don't think they did when they put this out before. Has this ever been on Blu-ray? I don't know.
I've not. I don't know, Rob. I don't think it's ever gotten a Blu-ray release.
It might not have gotten a Blu-ray release, and I hope that. Yeah, I hope they ported it. I love this movie, Cusco.
Because I don't remember buying New Groove.
No, I didn't either. So I hope our special features are here. I really love this movie. Yeah. I wish we could have told the actual story about how this movie was going to be something very, very different that the studio changed, but I won't get into that now. But this is very exciting. It's coming out. I'm very excited. And then we have Southpaw, the 10th anniversary Southpaw disc. If you want that, it's coming out as a steelbook. I like this movie a lot. Jake Gyllenhaal kills it. That's coming out.
Lionsgate Limited, Rob?
No, it's just regular
Okay.
Lionsgate. Regular
Okay.
Lionsgate. And then we have Shall We Dance? Shall We Dance is coming. And, of course, this is a Film Movement is putting this out. And what's really interesting about this is, Shall We Dance, they remade this, of course, in America. But they are putting out the 136-minute version of the film, the complete version of the film. Okay. And there's a new intro from the director, Masayuki So. I probably just butchered his name, but that's kind of cool. Looking forward to that. Then we have a cinematograph over at Vinegar Syndrome was putting out At Close Range. I think this is a terrific film. James Foley directed this, and from '86, and of course Christopher Walken, Mary Stuart Masterson, and Chris Penn, and Millie Perkins, and of course Sean Penn, and really excited to see this. It's a great movie. And then we've got coming out the third Eurocrypt collection of Christopher Lee coming out from Severin. And this movie has Arabian Adventure, this box set has Arabian Adventure in it, which was a big, late 70s Starlog covered it. This is both Blu-ray and 4K. And Beat Girl from 1959. There's 4K restorations of the theatrical and extended version. The Hands of Orlok from 1960. It's a new restoration of the longer French cut plus the UK cut. Disc 3 and 4 are The Virgins of Nuremberg from 63. And that's got a 4K restoration, so you're going to see the 4K. And then Arabian Adventure from 79, which is not great, but I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater in 79. And it was big back in the day. And then A Feast at Midnight, and it's a 4K restoration from the original camera negative. So you go, Severin, continuing to carry on, which is fantastic. Now, we've talked about this before, but Robert Shaw in Swashbuckler, I announced when this was first coming out. We've talked about this before, but Kino Lorber are putting this out. This is from 1975. James Earl Jones, Robert Shaw, Peter Boyle, Geneviève Bujold, and Beau Bridges. I've never seen this movie, but what a cast. I'll totally watch it. Then we go back down under. Kelvin Wellborn will tell you about this. Imprint is putting out box sets of Alligator 1 and 2 in 4K in their great limited edition hardbox. And they're also putting out the Lawnmower Man 1 and 2. And those are limited edition Blu-ray hard boxes. I think Alligator is 4K, right? Is Alligator 4K?
Yeah. Alligator was 4K.
4K and Blu-ray. So I guess Alligator 2 is probably not 4K. But you know what? This is where I'm drawing the line, Dieter.
I think it is true, Rob, because there are 4 discs on the Alligator. So
oh, well, then there you go.
Makes
so
sense.
they're all
2 4Ks and 2 Blu-rays.
I am not going to be. Are you going to buy either one of these? Are you going to buy either one of these sets?
Rob, I already own Alligator, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Lawnmower.
Yeah, no, I'm. These are things I'm passing on. I've got to say, I own
Alligator. Let me. Wasn't it Shout or Kino Lorber who put Alligator out, or Severin in the States? I'm unsure, but
somebody did
Alligator. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be passing on them, but I'm glad that fans of these films will get them. Always a good thing. Yeah. Then we get to Arrow. Arrow has announced their January slate, and the top of that slate is, bar none, unarguably the champ, the very best movie Steven Seagal ever made in Correct. 4K, which also has one of my favorite audio cuts to a Jimi Hendrix song, to a wide shot over the back of the battleship. And we all know I'm talking about Under Siege. Yeah. Under Siege is coming out in 4K from Arrow, part of their Warner deal. Great
And I
to
think,
see
Rob,
this.
this movie really deserves a new transfer.
Oh my God, it totally
Remember
does.
the Blu-ray being not so
Terrible.
thrilled with it.
Terrible. I love this movie. Casey, what was this? Casey Riseback or something? Is the name of Steven Seagal's character. Look, I like.
He's just a cook, Rob. He's just a cook.
I love Above the Law, like his first movie, but he,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. This was the big one, Rob. This was the big one.
This is it. This is his biggest budget movie. This is an executive action, which he only plays a supporting role. But it's great to get this.
But this was the great surprise, Rob. This was a great surprise, you know. Always the hero, then boop, he was gone. It was great.
He was. But this is great, and this is showing Warner Brothers' relationship with Arrow now, and then we're also getting Snakes on a Plane, 4K of Snakes on a Plane. Again, I don't love this movie. I don't think it lived up to what it should have been, but I won't be buying this.
Exactly.
But hey, it's a great package for those people who love it. Then we have a re-release, British re-release, The Assassination Bureau, a Paramount film. I actually like this movie. I already have this Blu-ray from Arrow. I won't be buying this one, but I already have it. But I like the movie. So they're putting that out in January. Then we're getting City Slickers. This is wild for Arrow, but okay. City Slickers, and if you want to go find your smile, I love that idea. This is the movie for you.
Yeah.
City Slickers is coming out from them. It's a great movie, right? Then another Warner title, Evil Dead Rise in 4K. It's already come out in 4K. There's been a steelbook.
Strange, okay.
But hey, Arrow probably tweaked the transfer, so all right. And
but
then
the disc looks great, Rob. Looks great. It looks like a vinyl. There was the kid who does vinyl stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I'll get this just because I love Arrow in the packaging. Then we have Cheap Thrills. This movie's a hoot, and they're putting this out. It doesn't look like it's 4K, but they're putting it out on Blu-ray. So there you go. And then we have Huzera, and I don't know much about
Bone
this.
Woman.
The Bone
Good one.
Woman.
Good one. Yeah.
You know, so there we go. The Bone Woman, Huzera. So, hey, I mean, what is not to love? And then we go on over to a different kind of a movie. She Shoots Straight.
Oh, one of my favorites.
88 films. I figured you'd love this. Look at this cover. Yeah. So should I buy this?
This was a movie that was for the longest time not available, but it came out. But it's nice to see it. It's coming out again. And how could I say no to that cover, Rob?
Well, you can't. You can't say no to that cover. I mean, look at that. Hot Asian girls with guns. Is there anything better?
Yeah. I was just looking up so some of my reviews. I gave the Bone Woman that you showed, Huzera, an 8 out of 10 back in the day.
Well, then I'll get that. I don't have it.
Yeah. And She Shoots Straight is great.
Well, there you go.
Corey Yuen. No, unfortunately not.
That is
not
Corey Yuen.
One of the great action directors from the Hong Kong.
Of course. And these 88 films, Asian cinema box sets are fantastic.
Yeah.
Then this is for you, Dietz. I mean, I couldn't pass this up from Cleopatra Entertainment. Cleopatra, one of the great distributors, Gothic rock and roll. But Warrant. Backstage Pass to the Sunset Strip. Let me just tell you this. I don't know if you're going to buy this, but I figured you might. A newly restored live concert features the original War hits and backstage antics. It captures the band in the heyday of the Hollywood hair metal scene and includes their hit songs like Cherry Pie, Down Boys, and Heaven.
Yeah.
And
there was a great story big in the 90s, and the hair metal bands fell wayside. And I don't know if it was a documentary or where did I hear it, but the singer of Rowan came into the lobby of the company, and the poster, was get moving away and had to make place for the grunge scene.
Well, there you go.
And they were gone. Move fast in the business.
They move fast. Now, this is interesting. This next one, breaking news. This is interesting. So this is the Donnie Darko 4K Blu-ray Media Book Edition. Now, here's what they say. This is coming to us from Mutant and Arrow Video. And they're releasing a new 4K media book edition. They've obviously put this out. So here's the press release. Mutant, I don't know what Mutant is thrilled to a new collaboration with acclaimed genre distributor Arrow to launch an exclusive line of ultra high definition Blu-ray releases under the banner Mutant Media Book. Partnership is the cult classic Donnie Darko, the first release in the Mutant Media Book series, combining Arrow Video's world-renowned catalog of meticulously restored genre films with Mutant's flair for elevated physical media. Mutant Media Books will feature premium packaging, brand new artwork, exclusive media book inserts, and expanded bonus features, all tailored for collectors and cinephiles alike. And here's a quote. It's no secret we're obsessed with physical media over here at Mutant, and one sandbox we've always wanted to play in is home video. So we are all thrilled to be launching this partnership with the incredible folks over at Arrow Video to enable us to do just that, says Spencer Hickman, co-founder of Mutant. Our new home video line will feature exclusive brand new artwork housed inside our beautiful Mutant media books, and initial numbered pressings will come with an exclusive slipcase. Each release will be stacked with essays and photos that will hopefully bring fans closer to their favorite movies. I'm personally thrilled that Donnie Darko was our first release, as the film means a great deal to me. I think we've managed to bring something fresh to the iconography of this classic film, with Greg Ruth's incredibly elegant and beautiful artwork, and award-winning designer Craig Oldham has done an outstanding job on the layout of the entire package. We just couldn't be prouder of this release, kicking off this new line of physical media from Mutant. Interesting, right?
And question, Rob, theatrical version or director's cut? For you. For me, the theatrical version, actually.
You know, I gotta say, bro, I'm a theatrical guy too. Don't get me wrong, the director's cut's really interesting.
Yeah.
And
cool.
I have to say, I met the director of this movie. I met Richard Kelly. I met him at a pool hall that used to be in the Beverly Center, the mall. It was a pool hall, and one night I found myself playing pool next to Richard Kelly, and we started talking. We didn't know who each other was. And then we introduced ourselves, and Richard Kelly said, "You made Free Enterprise?" And he was so kind and so nice. And I talked about, I don't think Donnie Darko had come out yet, to be honest. I
don't know the release date actually at the moment. Later, it's what
he talked about later. And he was so smart. And we talked Stephen King. We talked about The Long Walk, actually. And you know what? I will forever love Richard Kelly. You know, he wrote the screenplay for Domino, for Tony Scott's Domino. He obviously made Southland Tales, and he made Donnie Darko, and he made the Button, based on the Button that was in the 80s Twilight Zone. I'm a huge fan of Richard Kelly.
It was the bite of the movie, Rob. Would you push the button?
Push the button. That was the bite. That was the bite. So you go, Richard Kelly, but that doesn't answer the question. I would imagine it's probably both versions, although it doesn't. It's interesting.
I just wanted to know, Rob, which version you would prefer, because
the theatrical. I'm a theatrical guy.
Yeah, so.
The December debut of Donnie Darko Mutant Media Book, presented in the definitive 4K restoration, will feature exclusive cover art. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
It has the 4K restoration of both the theatrical cut and the director's cut.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. And Dolby Vision and HDR10 compatible. So there you go.
Nice.
So yeah, that's good. Now I know. Now that I've confirmed it according to their press release. And then we get to this, which is Chain Reaction. This is the documentary about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But this is interesting too. This comes from Dark Sky Films. So and they are releasing a media book edition of Chain Reactions,
Yeah.
And Chain Reactions is being released as a limited edition Blu-ray media book, and it includes, this is wild, 8 rare and legendary versions of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So
Okay.
here are the 8 versions of the movie that they're releasing. The 16 millimeter overscan print, the 16
I have
millimeter.
to stop here, Rob. Rob, what does an overscan print mean?
It must be.
Overscan.
It's like probably 1:8:5. So the
Oh, okay,
aspect ratio is
okay.
different. So these are.
Yeah.
Then there's a 16 millimeter barbecue edition print. There's the 35 millimeter grindhouse print. There's the 1984 KTEL Australian VHS. The 1981 Wizard Video VHS, the 1987 Czech VHS, the 1978 Super 8mm print, and the 1980s Slovakian Betamax version. So these are probably all video versions, but hey, if you want them, I don't want them. I have the second sight version, but this is the documentary, but it's got these versions of the film. Now, dude, here comes one of my favorite pieces of news this week.
Okay.
A Better Tomorrow, the trilogy. Now, this is obviously the Shout Factory version, Golden Princess, Chow Yun Fat, The Killer, Hard Boiled, A Better Tomorrow, the box set. And
Nice.
we talked about this before, but it's the full trilogy, and it's pretty great. And there's Dolby, there's 4K restorations of the film with Dolby Vision and HDR. And that's all of the movies. And so there's this chock-a-block full of special features. I love all the artwork and everything. I love the box. The question is...
And we know, Rob, there could be the same titles showing up from Arrow in the UK.
But
Could
Arrow will probably tweak
good.
the transfers a little bit. Now, do you get them? I don't know. But this is to me, this is essential. Obviously, the movie The Departed is based on Infernal Affairs 1, so you kind of have to get it.
Yeah.
And then we finally have the 40th anniversary of Clue, the movie coming out in 4K, if you want that. I've never really been a fan of Clue, but if you want it, it's coming. There you go. Now, here's a movie that intrigues me. Inquisition, a 4K version. Mondo Macabro, and they always go for broke. They've always got sexually explicit and a lot of violence in their movies. You got to get, but they're hard to get because when they release a 4K like this one, they're tough to find. This Inquisition in 16th century France, Inquisitor and Magistrate Bernard de Fossey, played by Paul Naschy, travels to the plague-ridden region of Piriac in search of witches and devil worshippers. Local beauty Catherine quickly catches his eye, tormenting him with impure thoughts, although her affections lie with her handsome fiancé Jean. Meanwhile, embittered one-eyed manservant Renovar presents Bernard with his first group of torture victims when he accuses several sexy young things who spurned his advances of being witches. One by one, beautiful women are tortured on the rack, then burned at the stake. No one seems to be able to halt the Inquisition's reign of terror or the baseless accusations that cause so many innocent deaths. When Jean dies in mysterious circumstances, Catherine allies herself with Satan to get revenge on her enemies, foremost among them de Fossey himself. This was horror star Paul Naschy's directorial debut and one of his very best films. He plays 3 roles. The film is a brutal and unrelenting portrait of a past when superstition and terror ruled the world, kind of like today. And I want to get it. Why not?
We're back to the roots, Rob. We're back to the roots.
Back to the roots. And then another MDV. Here's another movie that I'm sure everyone's going to be excited about. Force 5 from MVD. Their Rewind collection, and this is from 1981. A powerful and dangerous cult. Oh, you got my imagination. Hidden on a remote island fortress has brainwashed the daughter of a U.S. senator. With local authorities powerless and time running out, the government turns to a highly specialized team of martial arts experts known as Force 5. Led by a seasoned agent, the team includes 5 elite fighters, each with unique combat skills. from street fighting and karate to high-impact kickboxing. Infiltrate the island compound, uncover the secrets of the cult's charismatic and manipulative leader, and rescue the senator's daughter. It sounds like Escape from New York on an island. But there you go. And this is from the writer-director of Enter the Dragon and the Big Brawl.
Ooh.
Come on. I guess we all have to buy this, don't we? I mean, right? I mean, you want that, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we got to get that. And then we have Whispering Smith, a new Hammer box set, pulling out all the stops. It hits 4K Blu-ray, and I don't, these Hammer boxes are great. This film has been unseen for decades. It returns from the shadows. Experience the exclusive first look at Hammer's long-lost noir. I'm sure Max will get this. Whispering Smith hits London, now painstakingly restored in 4K from the original negative. So there you go. British noir. I don't know anything about it. That's what they say. Probably interesting. What's not to love? Or maybe there's a lot not to love. I don't know. Then we get to, this is now Universal is releasing what look like Warner Archive titles. So Claudette Colbert, I met him in Paris.
You could have fooled me there, Rob.
I know. And then we have Claudette Colbert and Fred McMurray in Maid of Salem. And then we have finally Claudette Colbert in Zaza, starring Herbert Marshall. So clearly Universal is taking a page out of Warner Archive's book and are releasing 3 Claudette Colbert movies. I will bet the bit rates are not as high as what George Feltenstein is doing over at Warner Brothers. Then we have a movie called, there's a 4th one, Skylark, with Claudette Colbert, Ray Milland, and Brian Ahern. So 4 Claudette Colbert films. They should be a box set, but you can get them individually. The recent horror film Bone Lake.
Looking forward to that one.
I can't wait to get this.
I don't want to know anything, want to go in blind, but it looks interesting. It comes out as a 4K here in Germany, but it will come out in January, so way down the line. But it comes out in November in the States.
I can't wait to get this. I love the tagline is what's your body count?
Yeah.
Double entendre, love it. So good. Then we have The Grinch That Stole Christmas. It's 25th anniversary. There you go. And then a very controversial movie that not a lot of people have ever heard of called Taxi zum Klo.
Taxi zum Klo. Okay.
Yeah,
Taxi to the loo.
Yeah, Taxi to the Loo. Marking the 45th anniversary of its original release, Frank Ripollo's groundbreaking autobiographical debut returns in a new 4K restoration, offering a vivid, uncompromising portrait of queer life in West Berlin at the dawn of the 1980s. By day, Frank is a dedicated school teacher. By night, he embraces the sexual freedoms of the city's underground scene, navigating a double life in public restrooms, cinemas, and cruising spots. When he meets Bernd, a sweet and steady museum worker, Frank finds himself torn between the comfort of domestic partnership and the allure of anonymous desire. Unapologetically explicit and deeply personal, Taxi zum Klo shattered taboos upon its release and remains a landmark of queer cinema. Shot with unfiltered candor and infused with a distinctively wry humor, Ripollo's film continues to resonate for its fearless exploration of identity, intimacy, and freedom. Now, Dietz, I have to tell you, I saw this at a film festival. I had no idea what it was about. I was a young whippersnapper, and this is the first time I really experienced what gay life was all about in this movie. Taxi zum Klo taught me things I didn't know I wanted to know, and it taught me things I was better off not knowing. So there you go. Coming out in 4K. I'll buy it. It has a place in my heart.
Why do you actually do a stream, Rob, with a German who doesn't even know the movie?
Well, it is set. I understand. You have a different lifestyle than is depicted in this movie.
Okay, it's 45 years old, but I'm actually never come across it, Rob. Taxi zum Klo. Okay.
Well,
Strange
it's all
title.
about gay life, and I don't know what that says about you. You're just not open-minded enough, Dieter. You're just not, you didn't watch Carell, Fassbinder's Carell. Yeah, there you go.
Perhaps the censorship did not allow it to play on TV.
That could be too.
Perhaps.
That could be too. It's true.
You know the heavy
and then-
censorship here in Germany was in the 80s.
Then we got Battle of Algiers, a important film coming out from another cult label. Battle of Algiers, I think, Criterion. This is a Criterion staple title, and this is coming out from the British cult label.
Cult films.
Cult Films will reissue its collector's edition of this film, so that's coming out again. Exciting. And then finally, the biggest, no, not the biggest, but we're The Werewolf Woman in 4K, coming out from Treasured Films. Oh, pardon me, it's not in 4K. I'm wrong. It's the 50th anniversary. This is just a Blu-ray. Mentally unstable Daniela fantasizes that she is the reincarnation of her long-dead ancestor, a woman who is thought to have been a werewolf. Dealing with a lifetime of sexual abuse, she seduces men before transgressing into a feral monster, screaming, cursing, and ripping them to shreds. When she meets the man of her dreams, Daniela seems ready to forgive her past and bury the beast within until another traumatic encounter seals both her own fate and the collective fates of those caught in the path of the werewolf woman's wild wrath. Big box set with lots of special features.
Yeah.
It's probably got
This
a lot
looks
to love.
like great lobby cards, Rob.
I know,
Real
right?
Lobby cards.
The Werewolf Woman. And that's the end. That's the last of the releases of the week. And that brings us to the top-selling Blu-ray discs. Fantastic Four First Steps is number 1. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, number 2. Weapons is number 3. F1's number 4.
And there they are, Rob. Your 2 movies that you bought for a Schnäppchen.
I know, right? For a
F1 and
Schnäppchen.
Superman.
Right there, Superman. Nobody 2, Jurassic World Rebirth, David Gilmour.
David Gilmour. Nice.
I know, The Devil's Rejects, Bad Boys 2. And
Bad
then
guys,
the biggest.
Bad guys.
Oh, did I say
Bad
Bad Boys?
Not the bad.
Sorry. Bad Guys 2.
Bad guys.
And then we have the top-selling 4K discs. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning is number 1. Fantastic Four is number 2. Weapons is number 3. F1 is number 4. The Devil's Rejects, Amazon exclusive, number 5. Superman number 6. Back to the Future part 3?
Part 3? Okay.
The Steelbook
That's
just
strange.
came out.
Some-
Nobody 2, and then dude,
Ilsa made it, Rob.
She-Wolf
Ilsa
of
made
the SS is in the top 10.
Made it into
Will
the top
miracles
10.
never cease? Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS.
That's why the pie chart is different, Rob. You know,
And,
Ilsa made it happen.
I'll tell you, man. Never in my life, let me just say, having owned the Laserdisc, never in my life would I have seen Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS in any top 10 list.
Top 10.
Ever. It just goes to show you there's a lot of Americans who are wanting to bring back that Third Reich. And I understand Ilsa She-Wolf of the... I'm sorry. Oh, did I say that? There's a reason, though, why a 70s exploitation film that no one's heard of called Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS is in the top 10 of physical media. Yeah. By the way, people who are buying 4K discs, so at the higher echelons, the elite coastals are buying Nazi exploitation movies. On one hand, I say bravo. On the other hand, I'm deeply saddened. Even though we own it.
Yeah. Certainly does.
And then that last movie that it was
because
Tron.
you could think, Rob, that
Tron.
those kinds of movies did have a little bit of problem with distribution here.
Yeah, you would think. Like the funny thing is, it's in the top 10, so enough people knew it to buy it, but I would say most people didn't know it, and they bought it for the subject matter, which is even more troubling. So what are you gonna do?
Correct.
I hope they like it because it's a little low budget, but it certainly delivers the goods.
Yeah.
So, Dietz, I mean, that brings me to the end of what I wanted to
Perhaps
say. You've done the
some
live
super
chat.
chats left, Rob.
We do. We have some super chats left. Let's
live chat we
address.
did already, Rob. No.
Well, we're going to address them. Let us see what the super chats
where we stopped
have in store. Where did we start? Swifto Horror 365 says celebrates 22 months of membership. What's up, gents? How do we get info on seeing the film White Devils? Shout out to you guys, to the chat, and to the Icons of Fright. Well, since you asked, let me play you something that will tell you everything you need to know.
Why do you talk like that?
Yesterday, before it was almost dark, I looked out the window and I could see Ma standing near the blue gum trees.
Please, don't.
Last night, I could hear her nails scraping against the roof.
Stop it.
Sometimes I hear her breathing.
It's just the wind. I've told you, flapping against the window.
But it's not. The curtains, they flap and flap. It's because she's angry.
She's dead. They're both dead. Dead and buried. Scattered all over the place, remember? Tim, he's back. Everything's gonna be okay. Come on.
So there you go. You can get it right now at White Devils the movie for $9.99. So
Perhaps, Rob, you could put a link in the description of the show.
I think I did.
it?
Maybe I did. I don't know
okay.
if I did.
Yes.
But I think you can. White Devils the movie. I'll put the link in the description. So there you go, and check it out. And I thank you for asking.
Nice.
Bo Edmonds, 5514
Yeah.
says, Robin Dieter, have any of you ordered the 10 Commandments 4K Blu-ray Steelbook? It's on Amazon, coming out 11/20/25. I have the 10 Commandments on 4K. I did not order the Steelbook. Did you?
I have not. Because the
did not
steelbook came out
either.
later, I believe.
Yeah. Richard Curtis, thank you, by the way, for the support of the channel today, Richard. Richard says, I'm young, so Under Siege was my introduction to Jimi Hendrix. It's the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest music cut ever.
And when this came, Rob, in the live chat, didn't do a super chat, but he said, DIETER is the number 1 sale in Germany. That's why it's in the top 10.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch.
So wait, Richard Curtis goes on to say, however, I later found out my mom saw Hendrix perform in the UK, as well as briefly dated John Deacon, the bassist from Queen. Okay, your mom has just become the coolest mom for anybody on this show that we've ever met. Give your mom a kiss on the cheek for me and tell her I bow down to her. And that's amazing. That's amazing. Zach Losel has become a new member of the channel. Zach, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Come to the member chat next week. Richard Curtis celebrates 9 months of membership. I appreciate that, sir. Major Chai says, I saw Back to the Future in IMAX last night. The movie holds up on the big screen after all these years. That movie, it holds up because it's got a perfect script. And the fact that it's set in 85, it's a period piece. Now there's nothing you can look at and go, it's dated. Back to the Future is a perfect film. It stands on its own. You are right.
Yeah.
Darth Plato says, Graz Dodges. And this from a Giants fan. Yeah, you know, first of all, look, somebody has to lose. But what a series. I mean, my God, the lead up to this series and the last 2 games and the game before that, I mean, it's incredible. The game on Halloween, that last double play at the end, I mean, what a series. Kudos to both teams, but just like to see that Dodger win. Gotta admit, fantastic. And that brings us to the end, Dietz. I don't think there's anything more to say.
Nicely. It's the only thing, Rob. I started the show with Battle Beast on tour, and I just wanted to hear you say where they play live in December. In which little town, Rob?
I don't know.
You know, Rob? In which little town?
In Saarbrücken, Deutschland?
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. And I say, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch
Wait,
hören
hang
hast.
on. You're going to go, right? You're going to go see him live, right?
Yeah. Correct, Rob. Correct.
Well, you got to make. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a picture. You got to take a video. Here's a video. We'll play it of your face, and then you got to turn around and show us the stage behind you.
Rob, like I said, they're streaming their concerts live on YouTube.
No,
You
dude,
can
I
watch-
want you. I want a video of you. Come on, let's get a video of you. You know,
Okay,
something
okay, Rob.
something that will rival this.
Personal. Okay, something. So, on my end.
Come
Steven,
on.
Ja. On my end. Jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. I want to thank our moderating staff, everybody from Lord Toth, who, of course, I mean, all the, Darth Plato, Tom Jr., Jackson. I want to thank everybody that generously supports this channel via super chats and tips. I just want to thank all of you. Major Chai Chai for flying out to Los Angeles to see, and everybody, the Post-Geek Singularity community. Corey Manlove came out, and it was great. And, of course, the king of squirting came out, and I know you're like, what? But yeah, I want to just thank everybody for thanking us or for supporting us. I'm thanking them. They're not thanking us. And if you want to get, I'd appreciate it. Support White Devils. The analytics are important. If you want to watch the movie, you can go to White Devils the movie. You can see there's clips on Instagram. They'll send you where you need to go. It's only $9.99. And support independent cinema. The more views we get, the more people that rent the film over the next week or two, the better off. It'll help us. We might have a theatrical release, limited, but coming up in January. More details soon.
Yeah, like an Oscar movie, So first limited release, and then
right. That's exactly yes. That's exactly right.
And I wanted to remind the winner. I forgot your name. Reach out to me if possible, through Rob, through email, or through Instagram, so I can get your address. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
So last super chat came in, Rob. Last super chat came in.
The last super chat did come in. Swift of Horror 365 said, I just bought White Devils. It might be unexpected. It might be different than you're expecting, but please tell us what you think. Tell us what you think, and give us your opinion. And on that note, Deets, I think we're out of here.
Yeah. After 3 hours, I think we made it.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week. Normally. Next
we
week.
will. Hopefully, I'll have more discs. Who knows? All right, everyone.
Still 3 hours, Rob. Still 3 hours.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much. And we are off. We are out.
Okay.
All right, man.
Nice.
Well, that was long.